I mean, thinking about death is like I think it's kind of a terrible thing to do, but I think about it a lot. But I think it's sort of like a sin because it's just indulgence. Mm-hmm. And then, you don't want to get to the point where something happens and you're like, why did I spend all that time thinking about death when I had life? Like, you don't want to hit that point where you're no longer sound but sick, and then go, God, why did I spend my whole life ruminating about an inevitability? And also, like, not to get too deep or anything about this, but I think about a lot. But the way I came to feel that I try to tell myself is that since when you're dead, you're not alive, and since when you're alive, you're not dead, you and death will never actually cross paths. So there's really nothing to be afraid of.
Except for that half hour where, time's coming.
Yeah, well, you know what the good part is about the end, is you got no pain because they got morphine. They're jamming syrettes of morphine in your neck. Like, that's why it's like, my grandfather died peacefully. Yes, because he was on so much narcotics. That's why he fucking died peacefully. It's not because... If you went back like 200 years, those guys didn't die peacefully. They were just fucking howling for 3 days with black bile pouring out of their nose. This is all funny stuff.
It's not all about the laughs. But no, you talk about this on stage in a funny way, about your dark thoughts about the end of life. So you're saying in your real life, though, you've just told yourself there's no point in fretting about an inevitability.
Well, I try.
Are you successful at that?
No, I'm not successful. I just try to tell myself that. But in the deep of night,
that's when it hits.
Yeah, that's not fun. And like my worst moments in life is when I get up late at night and go in the bathroom and turn the light on and look into my own eyes. But anyways, I try to, you try to keep it at bay. You try to keep all those thoughts at bay, and like, in a sense, like that. That's why I think like routine is important. I have a job where, like, there's not routine. You have to self-impose routine. But I think that, to me, like, the key to unhappiness is, like, just indulgence. Like, with anything, if you indulge in sex or in alcohol or in drugs or in video game, it doesn't matter. If you indulge in things, you're not happy. And I think, like, our previous generation, they never indulged in anything. Like, my dad worked all day and then he'd have a couple of beers, and I'm sure those beers were tasted really good to him. And his vacations, as modest as they were, probably had great value. We indulge ourselves more, and then the generation that follows us really indulge themselves. And I don't know. To me, I think that's where you get unhappy, when you start indulging. That's the key to unhappiness. What am I talking about?
Indulging in Twitter and things like that. Did you hear that Woody Allen interview he did with a French TV station?
No.
He talked about why he just obsessively works from one film. When that one's ended, he moves on to the next one, and it's to get his mind off of dying. Essentially, it's gives him routine, gives him something to do just to keep his mind away from that.
Yeah. God, that's depressing. No, but I can see what he means. Like, I remember when my dad retired, because that was his whole dream, was retiring his whole life. Like, it was always to retire. And then when he retired, he forgot to think of something to do. Like, he didn't have hobbies or anything. So then he was just sitting around the house, and, like, he was sad because, Like, he just had this idea of retirement, and he had this idea that doing nothing would be a wonderful thing, which, is just natural for us to think. But no, I think that must be why Woody Allen or Clint Eastwood or stuff would work like that when they have so much money, is to not be alone with your thoughts and to be distracted. Like, one time I went to a psychiatrist because I was gambling too much, and he told me, you do that to, like, avoid life. And then that was my argument, was like, that's why you do everything, is to avoid. You live life to avoid life, in a way. Like, you live the minutia of daily existence. You wake up, and then you eat. You wash your face and shower and have the exact same conversations with the exact same people over and over and over and over again, just to kind of achieve some self-hypnosis, so you stay away from thinking about. This is why people that do drugs, I think the drugs take away the defense of, if they take very powerful hallucinogenics or something, they probably are thinking more clearly in some ways about life, in the sense that they no longer worry about finding food or talking to friends. They start thinking about real things, and it's so horrifying that they get psychotic breaks and so forth. Again, this is all hilarious stuff.
It's not a comedy show. It's a show about comedians. Because I find it fascinating. Now, is it a function of age, or have you always had these thoughts? Like I say, I thought a lot about death, and it's not that I obsess over it. It's just that I'm curious. I wonder, and I think. I studied philosophy, and I think about when that happens, right? So, is this more something that's you're thinking a lot more about now, or have you always been this way?
Well, I remember when I was young, I think I was the most terrorized by the idea. But it might have been other. Maybe I was worried about my parents dying or something like that. But no, I was always like afraid. I was afraid of like something random just happening that could knock me out of the game real quick, or. I'm very cautious. Like, I don't do anything that can put me in situations, because people go, "Oh, you got to live," But you can just you can live by being cautious and careful, and not doing like. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to jump out of a plane. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to jump out of no plane, and I'm not going to do any drugs that'll kill me. And I'm not going to drink alcohol all the time, because that stuff, I don't want to. I just want to grow. I just want to grow old and die a slow, like, painful death. No, I don't know what I want, but it is. But now that, like, because now I'm kind of. Because I'm 48, so I'm kind of like always thinking 20 years in the future and trying to figure out how I can be in good enough shape to. But also, I think I should do something before then, like I should go travel and see someplace, because I don't want to be like them old people that they start traveling when they're hit 80 or whatever, and then they're on a bus with other people being herded around. I was thinking in my mind that I'd like to take a train across Canada again, like I did when I was young and stuff. Well, I'm still young enough I'm still ambulatory. Oh my God, this is getting funnier by the moment.
I don't want to be traveling when I'm 80 and dying on the plane or the bus, because that would be embarrassing. And I think you kind of talk about that too.
Geez, I was just reading. That's weird. Because I love Russians, and I read Tolstoy a lot, but I don't know anything about him. But a guy told me, because I don't read biographies and stuff, but a guy told me that Tolstoy was they did this movie called The Last Station with Christopher Plummer, where he played Tolstoy. But anyways, he was apparently obsessed with death, and he wanted to be an ascetic because he was born a count, but he never had the courage to like just give everything up. And then finally one day he said, I'm just giving. He was old though, like late 70s. He said, I'm giving everything up and I'm just going to wander the world like Christ. And then he went to the train station and died.
On his way.
Yeah, at the train station. So he waited too long, you know. Again, you know, this is
fascinating.
This place is nice. What the hell are you doing? Checking for electric eyes. What's for electric eyes?
I also forget how poetic he is.
Yeah.
You know, with Norm, like, I didn't know him that well in the 90s. And then when my dad died, I had to do a movie with Norm. I tried everything to get out of that movie because I was inconsolable. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get out of it. And working with him was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It was like he was the right guy at the right time.
Freeze! You're under arrest. Details are sketchy.
I was inconsolable.
Did he talk to you about your dad a lot? Or what did he do?
Never came up.
Uh-huh.
He just made me laugh.
Yeah, right.
He just, you know, and it was, you know, wistful and musing. And you know, Norm is, he never knew he was setting something up or not. We were just hanging out, and all of a sudden it'd be like this punchline out of nowhere. But,
Dinner time, dog!
No! They got me eating kibble! Ah, what is that? Oh, is that urine? Oh, it is!
it started to become like a work was like a church I go to. Like I couldn't wait to get to work and just hang around this guy. And I knew he was special.
Yeah.
And I've known people for years and years that didn't make me laugh as much as he did in that 8 or 10 weeks. So he's like a real special person to me. And the way he's funny, I just never seen someone get at it like that.
What's the note in your hand?
What'd you do that for?
I was scared.
The last time I saw him was at the Comedy Store, and he was uncharacteristically emotional.
Yeah.
Like when we parted company, he was. And there's a picture of me and him and like the back of Chris Rock's head. I put it in my special. That picture that's in the end of the closer was the last time that I saw him. And he stood there. He came up, he stood behind me. I looked, he looked up, and I realized he was posing for the picture in hindsight. Like a gift.
That's nice.
It was a very fitting goodbye. Remember the day before the lockdown, Norm had some set that went viral. It was a cookie jar dunk. I remember like me and my buddies in Ohio were all like, yo, did you see this Norm Macdonald set? It was on YouTube, probably still on there.
I wasn't going to talk about the coronavirus. But on the way here, I got really ill. It's funny that we all now know how we're going to die. It's just a matter of what order at this point. I went to the Costco and everybody trying to buy shit and everything. Like the end of the world. And I'm like, anything? And they go, you gotta make yours. I'm like, I don't know how to make Purell. Oh, I can't touch my fucking face. Remember the good old days when washing your hands didn't take 3 hours? Like A, B, C, D. Just take me now.
destroyed. And he even
Oh, right. At the Improv,
yeah,
right,
we're
when
all
he
gonna
talked about
die, and
the pandemic.
It
Yeah.
was a
Incredible.
cookie jar dunk, and you could tell it was off the rip. And it was all that, all the anxiety that the day before the whole world goes into lockdown.
Yeah.
And he was just on some fuck it. And it felt so good. Again, it made me feel like everything's gonna be fine.
So the mind never wanders too far from, like I'll be talking about all kinds of horse shit up here tonight, but every moment I'll be thinking of this disease. Just to let you know. Just getting away from you guys a little bit more. Oh, God damn, I can taste the baby laxative in this fucking cocaine. But it was a good idea you made. It was a good choice tonight to come out and sit beside total strangers. At least I might be here. I can run, At least I can flee when I see it.
Today there was a story about Dave Chappelle released a special on Netflix today.
Oh, he did today?
And,
Yeah.
And there's a joke in there where he says that it was okay what Kevin Spacey did to Anthony Rapp because Anthony Rapp grew up to be gay anyway. And he went on to say it's actually not okay, but he's taking some heat for it. Do you think it's right or wrong for him to say something like that? Do you think it's okay to say? Or what do you think?
I think Chappelle's the greatest comedian.
Yeah. You said something that reminded me of, I don't know what story he was telling me, but the story was, in the beginning of the story, he's telling me he used to go to this Christian revival church. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I didn't really believe any of this stuff. I go, then why'd you go? And I love what he said. I don't even remember what he was talking about. He goes, because it made me feel good.
So this is where the old bitch sleeps, huh?
Do you remember that Star Search bit he used to do? The scaffolding in the bit was always the same, but I'd never seen him do it the same twice. And he would just make up these crazy Star Search intros. Star Search. This next band's been kicking around the Miami area for the last 15 years. Give it up for overnight sensation, he'd say. And he would do that, he had a million of them. And I'd seen him do the bit a bunch of times, never the same. The scaffolding was the same, the lyrics always changed.
And Star Search, you ever watch that? That's my favorite show, Especially the junior dance category. That's my favorite, And Ed McMahon always introduces them there, Hot property! They come out and they're dancing. Too cute for you! And you don't even see junior dancers anywhere else. That's the only show that you ever see them, It's never like you go, hey, honey, what do you want to do tonight? Maybe catch a movie, get a beer or something down at the bar. Or, hey, I know, what about that new club down there where they got the 6-year-olds dancing? Maybe we could go down there. I understand Hot Property's going to be there tonight, I've never seen them live. I've only seen them on TV. But I love Stars. They always name their groups like that in Star Search, too. Right? Hot Property and The Next Big Thing and stuff like that, As if that helps, So I was like, and now, this next band has been kicking around the Boca Raton area for the last 16 years. Now, America, say hello to Overnight Success! Then it always looks bad when they lose, So always, another tough decision for the judges. Our challengers, Overnight Success, receive 1.25 stars. And where do they get the judges on that show? Do you ever see the judges on Star Search? They always kind of got those lame credentials there, kind of suspicious, So I was like, and now it's time to meet our judges. The president of Tri-Media Artists, He represents such stars as Meadowlark Lemon. Okay, thanks a lot, folks. There you've been great.
If any of you wish to be a comedian, study Sticks and Stones, a comedy special from the Peerless One. If you don't consider Chappelle funny, you are wrong. If you are a comedian who does not see that he is the best we have, quit. I used to think Dave Chappelle was the next Pryor. Now I think he's the next MLK. Very proud to count you as a friend, Dave.
You were on the road with Norm, and a lot of us, when Norm passed, were shocked. And I kept thinking, oh, I must have been the only person that didn't know.
Oh,
and people all thought, well, Conan, you knew Norm, and he was does his classic appearances on your show, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I know. We were desperately trying to get him back. I desperately wanted Norm on my last episode. We were trying to get him and not getting an answer back. And I thought, well, he just doesn't want to come. And I was bummed about it, but thought he's probably got other things to do. That's too bad. Get these all-time great guest. And then he dies. And I just thought, well, I didn't know, but everyone else must have known. And then Jim Downey called me and said, you know, more or less, Conan, fuck you for not telling me about Norm. And I said, Jim, I didn't know. And Jim Downey said,
I would think Downey might know.
No, Jim didn't know.
Yeah,
did you know?
I did not know. And
you were touring with him.
Well, I'd done some gigs with him, and then before COVID, me, him, and Dennis Miller was our last one together. But great, super fun, obviously. And then, but you know, we would talk, and it was more about coming over for dinner. Same thing where he didn't tell me because he'd go, no, I can't. And then I go, well, it's just me and you sitting 10 feet apart, but something to do. And he's like, yeah, okay, for sure. And then that night I go, where are you? He goes, David, it's COVID. And I go, what is it? So you're not coming? We're not supposed to leave the house. I go, I know, but we've talked about this. Like you're allowed to go places. And then, oh yeah. Okay, well, let's do it next week then. And then he just did that routine. And then until it was too late, but I didn't know. So I don't know who knew. I think Gervitz knew, and maybe I
think Gervitz and Lori Joe.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I think two things about it, and they're diametrically opposed. One is I wish I had known because I would have told him what he meant to me.
Yeah.
And there's that feeling why I wish I had known. And so initially I was mad that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side, which is great respect for him wanting to keep it private.
Yeah.
And him not wanting people to treat him any differently because he was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have both feelings at the same time.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like it was just so overwhelmingly horrible that I just like, then later it took me how it affected me, where like I was mad at him.
Yeah.
But by the way, just not to lighten up the feel here, because I know it's getting sad, but when we were at the memorial or whatever that special was
for Norm.
Yeah. Where we were watching the special. Remember that? We watched his special. That's why the cameras are there.
That's a separate, that was a thing.
Wasn't that after the memorial we went in another room?
You're talking about two different things. No, there was a kind of a eulogy for Norm that I sort of spoke at
again
and brought people up. And then there was a separate thing where Norm had made, he was planning to do it was fascinating. He was planning to do an hour, and he had an hour together or 50 minutes. And he really had it in his mind, and he knew, I believe, and Lori Joe would know better. I don't want to speak for her, but I think he was planning to go into the hospital for what he thought was going to be
something routine maintenance,
maintenance treatment for his condition. Yeah. So what he did was he said, before I go into the hospital, I want to record. So he recorded using similar technology.
Amateur way, like
literally just a camera there. I mean, we're doing here is far more sophisticated. And he did from memory his whole
Yeah.
50 minutes, and it was really
Yeah, it
funny
was
and
funny.
great. He goes into the hospital and he dies. And then Lori Joe found the tape.
Yeah.
And they thought, to round out the special or to give it something else, let's have you, me, Sandler, Chappelle, Letterman. Who else was there? It was
One more. Molly?
Molly was there, Molly Shannon.
Maybe
a bunch
that was
of
it.
Might have been it. It was, and had us watch it. We hadn't seen it. Watch
That
it in
part
real
was a little
time.
weird because
and then
cameras
talk.
filming us.
Yes, and then talk about it right afterwards. And that part, I mean, I think it came out really well, but I remembered being, it was very powerful to be in a room and have everyone else leave and shut the doors, and then suddenly Norm was there.
Yeah.
And he's being hilarious, and we're laughing and loving it, and then it's over, and then I think we just started talking
Got a little
about
teary-eyed at parts though, because you're just watching him going, and then you start drifting your mind, going, "Okay, it's over. This is right before."
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk, and then it's funny because we're all talking, and then also we're like, just a weird scene.
Yeah.
Will that ever be released, do you think?
It was.
I think
and
it was
won an Emmy.
released.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was
Do you have
released.
Netflix?
I think it's on Netflix.
Sorry.
Oh, your mistakes get cut out. That's nice. Yes, it won a. No, it.
Can you edit out me laughing at 9/11?
No.
No? Okay.
Because we never forget.
Oh.
Called Nothing Special.
We never forget who thinks
called
it's
Nothing
funny
Special.
stuff.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
called Nothing Special, and it won an Emmy.
Was it called Nothing Special?
What's that?
Was it called Nothing Special?
Yeah.
Norm
Is this the
Macdonald.
thing that
Nothing.
you guys are watching is aired? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole
his material.
No. Just so we're
Has
clear.
he been listening?
This is his first podcast.
Is he new?
He won a contest.
Is he a contest
Yeah,
he gets to
he's
sit in?
contest winner. He got to fly in, and we didn't. He told him not to talk. And
He
then
loves
he's not
that I
even-
make fun
that
of him.
microphone isn't even real. No, it was the special was. You see, it plays Norm's special, and then you see our reaction to it. So that's the whole. So you see both.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't be
Gotcha.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, be sorry.
And that's humanity. You should feel terrible
Yeah.
about your
Oh,
crimes.
okay. We should edit that out.
You know,
We'll edit all that
at
out.
the memorial, the first one with the dolly shots, whatever that one was, that you were falling everywhere.
Right, when people die, I'm mourning them, I tend to do a tumbling act.
Yeah, you
for
were
a little
just
bit, just to
getting-
sort of loosen
you
up
were
the crowd.
Also, by the way, I think it was like 4 inches, and the next one was like 9 inches because everybody, their toe hit that fucking thing. I'm still mad about that step. But I left in between that, and then there was like a part 2, or maybe it was I'm confusing them, but I had to come back.
Yeah.
So I had or I just left during it because it was getting too sad. So I ran out. This is when I went to McDonald's, and in the Amazon special, I talk about that exact thing. I went to McDonald's in my suit and was in line, and the crazy guy comes out of the bushes and takes off shirts, starts smacking the guy ordering.
Yep.
So I go, let's back up, but let's park. I want to watch. So I went in, and that whole thing takes place from the Norm Macdonald thing.
I didn't okay, so that happened from the Norm thing.
That's a real story, and it was really happening, and I did get scared when he came in because I thought we were going to get in a fight.
You, first of all, I want it noted that someone you were very close to, a colleague and a cherished person, passed away, and you were present at the memorial, but walked out halfway through to go to McDonald's.
But
then something funny happened, which you could use in your special
No,
Dandelion.
because
So
I had
guess
already
we got
done
that
my
all set.
set.
Yeah, you did your set, so then you're out of there. I scored, and now it's time for some chicken McNuggets. Maybe I'll get some.
I tried to sound real, and it's too many comics there, and I'm trying to sound like say nice stories about Norm, and everyone's just looking for punchline. It's such a weird scene because it's all comedians, and you're just like, I'm just going to leave here, and everyone's going to be like, who did well? You know what I mean? It's like, that's everything.
It is. Okay, let's talk about this. This is a real phenomenon.
Yes.
Where a funny person dies.
Yes.
Who are their friends? Other funny, professionally funny people. We get together when people pass on, when they die, and there's a gathering, people speak, but you've got a room full of people who are competitive about getting up and being funny. And it's a strange phenomenon. These things are weird because you think, nope, it's not about that. But there's some part of you that wants to do well.
And there's some nerves and some awkwardness. And I think it started, I went to Gary Shandling's funeral, and then everyone was like, Bill Maher did great.
Yeah.
And I kept
my
going.
God.
And then everyone was saying,
Can I say something? Maher used props, and he had a lot of balloons. He was doing balloon work.
Oh,
he was? I don't remember that.
I
had
remember
some
it
good
clearly,
stuff.
and he had a whole trunk like Gallagher or Gallagher 2.
That was being filmed too.
Yeah,
I think Apatow filmed.
yeah, they had
it.
to, yeah.
Is
Did
that
he
been
film it
released?
for something, for a documentary?
Oh, I thought Gallagher was. Sorry,
What's
I got
that?
confused. I thought
So
Gallagher.
you guys are here to help.
Yeah,
Is that
I
the
know.
idea?
We're
She's throwing confusion.
I am.
You should do Gallagher 3. Do you know what Gallagher 2 is?
Gallagher 2 is his brother.
Yeah, and he does Gallagher's act.
Right, but I think have they both passed on to their reward? I think Gallagher won.
Well, according to this podcast, I'm sure they did, because everyone's dying so far that we talk
I know.
about.
You guys are talking a
well,
lot
I'm
of.
sorry,
It's
but
a lot of death.
I'm sorry, we're jinxing everyone.
I
we
know.
are two survivors
Yeah.
here. You know,
We're
Sona,
like
you
the
and
two
Gorley
people
are
that-
young people. You don't know what it's like. We have been through the shit. We're like guys that were in war together.
We're like in the Titanic.
No.
We're
Yeah.
just talking about
We're
it.
on SNL together. I don't think that's.
I know.
It's a
War.
lot
Quite
like
as
the
bad.
Titanic
Is it?
SNL.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
SNL. God, we talk about SNL forever. It's so embarrassing, but it is something to talk about. Right?
He said doodling. Hey, if you're bored, just let me
No,
know.
I'm
I
not.
think this is, I actually
No,
love
I
talking
like
about
it.
this stuff and it's meaningful to me.
No,
and for you
because
to,
we were both there.
if you want to take a break and go to McDonald's, go ahead and I'll just keep talking. You can get yourself the McGriddle, whatever it's called.
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. We seem like we do a lot of McDonald's on this channel.
We do a lot of
Ronald.
That's Tom McDonald cousin. It is, man.
Alrighty. Have we did Norm Macdonald before?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
He's had a.
Oh.
He's been on Family Guy. His voice.
Let
What
me see.
character was he though?
I don't know.
State symbolized move slave abolishment. Happy Black History Month, fellas. Yeah.
Wow, what a time to do this.
Why nobody got on their dashiki?
What a time to
Come
do
on, my
this.
nigga.
You know what? You know what's
Fuck
funny?
you, you
Come
know
here,
you're on
Ross.
that shit.
Hey, get
I
that
don't
right
know what
there,
a
Ross,
dashiki
behind you.
is.
It's right
You the
there.
African one.
In there.
I had two dashikis when they was
Right behind that white hat. Right
Fake
behind that white hat.
What is a dashiki?
Oh,
there you go, my brother.
The Black Pride,
I'll put
man.
that bit on.
Bit on.
Well, that's the Jamaicans wear that.
Nigga, this is Black Pride colors.
Yeah.
That's noggin.
Yeah, big. Yeah. He's pouring that mug.
This the thumbnail right
You heard
here.
what Brock said?
The Pooh Shiesty off of Black History Month.
Put the Pooh Shiesty
Put the
on.
Pooh Shiesty on.
Where's that, bro? I don't even
Put the
know.
Pooh Shiesty on and put this on.
Pass
Man,
me
that
the
is
Glock.
terrible, bro.
Yeah,
Chill.
Nigga said pass him the Glock.
Oh, let's get to
That's
this
mine.
Norm. No, relax, buddy. Relax, buddy. All right. We have did Norm before, but I'm gonna be quite honest here, guys. We didn't post it Norm.
Oh, we didn't?
Because we was in there straight face because we didn't. I guess he was roasting people.
I didn't think he
We
was
didn't-
funny.
Yeah, we didn't
That
like
shit
that
sucked.
shit. We
But,
did not like that shit, guys.
He's one of the characters in Family Guy. Before he died.
passed away?
Yeah, he did pass away.
Dead.
From what?
When did he pass away?
Oh,
he
yeah.
had cancer, actually.
Oh, did he?
For like 9 years.
Damn.
I think it was leukemia or something like that.
Damn, that's pretty aggressive.
Let me see when he, 9 years is impressive. Lived a pretty long life.
Y'all want to realize someone always died.
In 2021! Damn!
Dang. Probably caught
We lost a ton of people in 2020.
Yeah, duh.
No, it was
that
Chadwick,
big.
COVID.
Oh my gosh.
Who else went out in 2020?
2020, Kobe.
Kobe.
2020 might be one of the worst years in human history.
Yeah.
Up there with the bubonic plague.
Well, we can't say that. Y'all forgot about the yellow fever and they had polio. Niggas was fucked up. They couldn't walk back in the cab.
That's just because they had no technology.
Flu. Yeah, niggas died from
that's
flu.
pretty bad. Alrighty, man. Let's
And
see
it was
what
war.
you got on.
I just
During
looked
the
up
audit.
Kobe died.
You're right. Boy, if I go through a whole time of life and never been to war and never have to see a war or my
Yeah.
country in war, that's great.
Well,
that
we've
is
been in
great.
war for a good minute.
Oh yeah,
y'all.
we have.
But not a war that we got drafted like where
Yeah.
everybody got.
Yeah.
though.
Oh boy, they gonna be in jail for dodging it.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'll go out there.
A world war, that would be
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Bro, you hear some shit
I'll go out
outside?
there if they train me to drop bombs from the
Let me
plane.
be at the base.
I want
I
to
don't
do
Well,
that.
I think because everybody got a
You want to be a
degree
nigga
straight.
flight? What's them boys call them? Red? What them boys call them?
Good old
Red
boys.
tails.
The red.
Red. You want to be a red tail?
Damn right, I want to be.
Boy, I don't want to die.
I
Now.
gotta get my shit up before I fall
Nigga
out.
might- you might see some shit coming at this bitch, boy.
See, but my shit gonna beat me on my ejectocito, cuz.
Shoot your ass off the air.
All right, let's go ahead and see what my guy Norm has. Let's go ahead and get it.
Looks like a normal guy.
Why we have
He
World
does
War
look like
III
a
out of
normal
nowhere?
130 years after the Civil War, the state of Mississippi has finally voted to abolish slavery. Representatives say they would have liked to have done it sooner, but they were delayed due to some awfully big cotton crops. They had that. That's some kind of big cotton thing. All right. In Colorado this week, Bob Dole warned that if Pat Buchanan is the Republican nominee, the party might lose both the presidency and control of Congress. In response, Buchanan warned that if anyone other than himself becomes president, blacks will retain the right to vote. Last night, the epic disaster film Twister opened to big box office and some controversy. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has called for a boycott of the movie, claiming that not enough black people in the film are killed by tornadoes. Meanwhile, Furman, who was expected to face disciplinary action.
Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Is he related to Michael?
No, he is not.
Bro, look it up, bro.
Jesse Jackson
look it up.
is not related to Michael Jackson.
I don't even know Jesse Jackson.
Look it up. Jesse Jackson is not related to Michael.
Black political activist type guy.
Yes, they are not related.
They just got Jackson name. That's a typical black people name.
Yeah, they're not. No, but nowhere. They have a photo together, but no, they're not.
They're not related.
No, they're not related.
Probably tweaking in.
Let's get back to it, Norm.
By the LAPD may get up. Meanwhile, Furman, who was expected to face disciplinary action by the LAPD, may get off lightly. Under the terms of a controversial plea bargain, the charges against him have been reduced to, quote, one count of using the word darky. In the wake of the verdict, angry Menendez defense attorney Leslie Abramson said the jury simply chose not to believe the brothers' excuse that they had been sexually abused by their father, and says she knows why. Quote, it's because my clients are black.
He's just going crazy.
Yeah, he just don't care.
President Clinton was in Austin, Texas last Monday, the day of the Million Man March. The president said in a speech, I'm here to speak to you today because right now in Washington, D.C., there's like 1 million black guys.
Yeah, he's wild, dude.
In Nashua, New Hampshire this week, a high school student, Chris Conley, while attempting to dunk a basketball, lost his balance, crashed down on the rim, and shattered 2 front teeth. Gee, I wonder if by some crazy chance Chris is white.
Lenny, right.
All right, that was good.
This week, as America marked the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson's entry into Major League Baseball, there was a sobering reminder that racial prejudice in sports is not yet a thing of the past. In a shocking move, today, all but one of the 125 playing members of the Professional Golf Association has signed a petition to ban African-American golfers from the tour.
He said all but one.
And now a correction to a story we ran last week. Prince Charles is actually the one in the middle. We apologize for that.
I don't know why black was black as that.
Black is great.
Black is great.
Black is fantastic. Right? Yeah, I mean,
black is fantastic.
Even though, they're not black anymore. But then again, we're not white. Right?
Right.
We're pink like his fucking asshole. Bro,
Seen it.
All the color of Bobby's asshole deep down. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Roseanne hired me as a stand. I was doing stand-up, and Roseanne said, "Would you like to be on the show and act? You can be Lori's boyfriend." I said, "I can't act." I should have said I could act.
Yeah.
So anyway, she said, "Well, why do you be a writer?" But one time in the writing room, she would give jobs to crazy guys sometimes, and she gave a job to African American. I don't know what you call them. I call them African American.
That's those 2 words that are never heard in the state of Texas.
Crazy guy.
That's a joke.
We're saying African American, and when you say that, it feels uncomfortable, right?
Cholesterol.
To your tongue.
What are you supposed to say?
Well,
just tell me what you're supposed to say.
Right now.
Well, I definitely would not say the A word.
Right.
That's what I call it.
Yeah.
The A-A word.
Yeah.
African American. Can you do an African American accent?
Try, yeah.
Okay. We'll give you an African American.
Your mom is so fat she developed type 2 diabetes and...
Hey, yo! I guess, Dave Chappelle should have never started it, bro. When black men probably started making fun of white men, they got the green light. And they just went crazy.
So y'all want to play, huh?
Hey, bro.
Well, I've been thinking this one for years. Green light.
Is it bad already hear black than African American? African American just sounds more like
I don't give a damn.
It feels more icky when I hear it.
I don't know nobody in Africa.
Yeah, black people, it is better. It is better.
Like
African American.
It just feels.
Oh my god, that shit's
He's
so
a black
funny.
guy.
Hold on, bro. Let me hear this guy.
Yeah. Well, you're an African American.
Your mom is so fat she developed type 2 diabetes and congestive heart failure. Snap! Hey, George, my mother is so fat when she came to Vegas they had to build another hotel.
Okay, but you got the do-rag. You know, I'm fucking around a woman, you know, and I don't want to answer the phone. Oh shit, it could be a job, you know. And then after you take the do-rag, you wipe off your dick with the do-rag. And, no, I don't do that. But everyone else, we all do that. We all wipe our dicks out. Do you know the Harlem Shake?
I've seen it on every single
You've seen it. Then you'll appreciate this joke. I remember back when the Harlem Shake was just a black fella holding me upside down off a fire escape trying to collect his money. Orange is the new black. But not in my apartment building. Kevin is the new black.
Wait.
I'm just not hearing this.
But not in my apartment building. Kevin is the new black. But
presidential fact. Barack Obama is
Somebody at the door?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Norm. All right,
Is that a little change?
I mean, look, man.
Roseanne.
We can't be. I mean, you know, he's definitely. We don't know if he's racist or not, but definitely, it is comical though.
Yeah, he is.
It is definitely comical.
It's crazy.
Because I mean, if Cameron, it's just like Family Guy making the same jokes. He just making, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He just doing it in person.
Yeah.
I don't
So I mean,
know.
Maybe one or two he might have crossed the line. Maybe like one or two. He pushed it.
Which one would you say?
The do-rag was funny. I ain't gonna lie.
You take wash your dick off with the do-rag. Like, what? What the hell?
Nigga in there whacking that shit. He mean a nigga whacking that shit with the do-rag. And,
He crossed the line.
oh, that's the DoorDash?
Yeah. You DoorDash?
Fat ass here,
That's
man.
crazy. Sorry, guys. You are a beast.
All right, man. You feel like he's taking it too far, bro? You feel like he's taking it too far? Are we gonna be black flakes here?
No.
Are we black flakes?
No.
I'm tough. I can hear the risky jokes.
Hey, the do-rag one was funny, though. I ain't gonna lie to me.
presidential fact. Barack Obama is the first president to ever say the N-word as a term of endearment.
that's not how
It's a term of endearment. That's funny. He said he the first president to use the N-word as a term of endearment in a friendly way, saying all the other presidents didn't use the N-word in a friendly way.
That's not how George Washington is. That's not how George Washington is.
She fake laughing.
Today is the 11th birthday of President Obama's youngest daughter, Sasha, or as I like to call her, the uppity one.
Jesus.
I'm a regular Mozart.
Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville.
Start again.
All right.
Kids today, I mean,
You can't spell ABC.
Wow.
Did you say BBC?
Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville. With this and her appearance on iCarly, I think Michelle's ready to start appearing in films. May I suggest my favorite film series, Black Ass Fuckers?
Wow.
I found the secret to life is there is no problem that a huge...
Yeah, you pushed it.
No, I found the secret to life, Bob, and this is it. There is no problem big enough that a huge...
That a huge what?
Now, I found out the secret to life.
yes, oh great one.
Yes, and it is this. There is no problem big enough that a huge black cock cannot fix.
Hey, yo!
He's the first
Hold on.
Huge black cock cannot fix.
Take him a second.
Dr. Dre announced that he's the first hip-hop billionaire. Regular J. Paul Ghetto.
Wow.
Two businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist?
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They
not
are.
you.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million are racist, according
oh, no, they're
to this.
fine, man. Well, here's actually a joke about Donald Sterling.
Okay. All the charities that Donald Sterling donated millions of dollars to are giving the money back to him. Well, that'll show him.
How funny.
All the charities that Donald Sterling donated millions of dollars to are giving the money back to him. Well, that'll show him.
Never trust a black guy wearing a Dirk Nowitzki jersey. In Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Mavericks and the Thunder, Magic Johnson said that Dirk Nowitzki is playing like he has 3 legs, which is a nice way of saying he's playing like a black guy.
Yo!
That's crazy.
Show Oklahoma City second-round NBA playoffs. Great dunk from Westbrook, though I'd be more impressed if he weren't young and black. Moscow Roy Jones Jr. is down. Boring. If I wanted to see an old black guy get punched in the face, I'd look out my window.
Oh, wow.
Eastern Conference Final in Miami, and LeBron crushes Kyle Korver in transition. Always shocking when a black guy running forward is faster than a white guy running back. Usually I think the bigger, blacker guy. President Obama is a phenomenal player at basketball for a president of the United States. But I think he's just mediocre for a black guy. Hey, what about bringing in Jackie Robinson? Only team with a black guy on it. That's not cheating?
No way. No way.
Where I grew up, that's cheating. Last week, Indiana Pacer Danny Granger called Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls a coward. Now, where I come from, those are fighting words. But I have no idea how the black community views them. Middleweight boxer Bernard Hopkins has caused a stir by implying that Donovan McNabb is not black enough. The two men have decided to settle their differences with an old-fashioned game of who cannot catch a cab.
Hey, yo! Norman, wow.
Everybody's bringing up these licenses for illegals and that they need to have them. And my question is, where are they getting the license plates? Obviously, we're letting them register vehicles without licenses. And in this day of car bombs and stuff, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Thank you, Dan from Boise. Norm, what's your feeling?
Well, I know that the New York Governor Spitzer, I'm trying to get to learn things, but he doesn't want to issue licenses to illegal immigrants, you know, and I don't know how the hell you're going to get a cab in New York City anymore. It's hard enough, you know, for me especially as a black man.
Did they have to get a cab?
Yeah, they don't think black people don't tip.
Dang. I hate to say it.
Huckleberry.
Makes logical sense to me. I hate to be the one to say it.
Hold on.
I heard something about they wanted to take the N-word out, right?
Yeah, anyways, I wanted to bring it up before I forgot, and then we'll get on to my my project.
All right, do you have any observation on it, any tweak on it, or just the cognizance of the fact that they want to...
No, I feel it's a thorny issue.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't the whole thing. No. I thought you were going to go like, well, how so, or something.
Tell us more, Norm. Why don't you
I feel it's a thorny issue.
Yeah, me
why.
too. Why, Norm?
Well, you got Mark Twain, you know, and you're talking about, I mean, for those of you who don't know, you know, what I'm talking about, they've taken out the N-word, you know, out of many of the books of Huckleberry Finn.
Norm, they've taken out.
And So you got a thorny issue that I think I have a solution to. You want to hear it?
Oh, man. Never anything more.
Well, the thorny issue is this.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to take, Mark Twain, one of the greatest writer ever to brush paper with ink, and change his words, for God's sake. On the other side of the coin, you don't want to have a young African American boy in school, hearing that word out loud and causing him pain. So it's a thorny issue. But I figure it this way. You've read Huckleberry Finn.
They think that shit's so funny.
It's splendidly demented. Yeah, I've read it.
You know it's written in the first person by Huckleberry.
Yes, I do.
Watch Huckleberry Finn?
And it includes the N-word.
I've lived here for 100 years, Chad.
Therefore, you just change Huckleberry Finn to a black kid.
And everything's, it's like a rap song at that point.
Huckleberry Finn to a black kid.
And everything's, it's like a rap song at that point, right?
Exactly, everything's cool.
Everything's cool.
That's crazy. That's foul.
Now, what were you saying, Ross?
What's it with what?
You hate to say it, but what?
Oh, about the tip with the taxi? What you call it?
Oh, you said, no, I don't know what you were talking about. You said, I hate to say it, but.
I was just saying, if I'm a taxi cab driver, white guy, rich white guy over here, ordinary black guy over here, I'm on over, mud. If I had to make my money on tip, I know I hate to be the one to say it. I know you guys think the same thing.
Oh my gosh, bro. At first, he started off shaking. He might have had two jokes that was all like, whoa. I mean, hey, we've seen Dave Chappelle.
A couple, I was like, all right.
But Dave Chappelle kept it on I don't know. Because he's a comedian. I mean, I guess when you're a comedian, you know what I'm saying? Patrice was talking about raping women, so, that's a way farther line.
I think Patrice had the wild. No, who had the wildest joke?
No, Patrice was out of line for that. Talking about raping a woman.
Yeah, Patrice.
Beat on that. I forgot what he said. Hit on the head or something. I said, okay, Patrice, you tweaking. Oh my gosh. All righty,
Norm was ready for them black jokes.
Hey,
he
was laughing while he was reading. That shit was pretty funny. I mean, I did at first. I was like, okay, I came in here with a little tension with my black ass. Final thoughts about Norm. R.I.P. Norm, man. I don't have any hard feelings. Some people might have some black flake activity out there, but I don't,
I'm still surprised you never read Huckleberry Finn.
But boy, a couple years ago, if I would have heard this, I would have said he's a for sure racist. Before I came on.
I don't know. He borderline to me.
I don't want to give him a racist thing. He's not racist. No, he's not racist.
I know. That's what people said once. I mean,
he's not racist. He was just real edgy with the jokes. But that's comedy though.
That is comedy.
Turning.
See what I'm saying? It's about us.
Yeah,
that comes. You know what I'm saying? But when some people take it, But
he was a funny guy.
He would have just said something like black people are gang members. That would have been racist. Yeah. But he didn't say anything like that. It was just jokes.
That's what made it comedy. He wrote it a good job.
Yeah,
this a line he just came across to it.
Yeah, he was definitely teetering that line.
Oh, he was.
Alright, guys. If y'all want some more Norm, let us know, man. If anybody else has black risky jokes, we will definitely want to check it out. That's just
they're actually hilarious.
We're out of here. We appreciate his on Instagram.
Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald.
Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and now the fake news. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel.
In late June 2020, Norm Macdonald, the stand-up comedian best known for his years manning the Weekend Update desk for SNL, called his longtime producing partner and next-door neighbor, Lori Jo Hoekstra, and blurted, "Lojo, I want to shoot it tonight." The two had worked together for more than 2 decades, and there was a comfortable shorthand between them, so Lori knew exactly what he was talking about, responding simply, "Oh boy," before getting to work on preparations to shoot a comedy special for Netflix. This was no small feat. After all, this was the height of the global COVID lockdown, and the entertainment industry was still trying to figure out just how to function and produce content in a work-from-home world. The notion of shooting a comedy special in a club or theater in front of an audience was unthinkable at the time, and it was months before outdoor events and so-called bubbles to manage the risks of live events became more commonplace. And even then, such productions required lots of planning and a bigger budget than Norm had for the special. But Laurie could tell by Norm's voice that there was a real urgency to his request. Although he could be impulsive at times, his legendary gambling addiction once cost him $400,000, and he readily admitted to squandering his fortune 3 separate times in his life, Norm took his stand-up career and legacy very seriously. He combined his incredible innate talent on stage, complete with his trademark delivery and impish smile, with an almost preternatural, at times bordering on masochistic, fearlessness about bombing in front of an audience, to produce some of the most memorable moments in comedy history. She knew his call meant he was ready with the material, and they needed to move quickly. The timing was critical. Laurie was one of a small handful of people, including close family members and his agent, who knew about Norm Macdonald's big secret. He was battling cancer. In 2013, Norm had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a blood cancer that is rarely noticed early on, but causes bone pain, anemia, kidney dysfunction, and inhibits the body's ability to fight infections. He chose to wage the battle out of the public eye, fearing it would affect the way he was perceived. Like all comedians, Norm depended on the audience's mood staying light and jovial, which he believed was essential to them enjoying his irreverent brand of comedy. He didn't want to be pitied or have the audience thinking about his health struggles during a set. Still, the diagnosis could not be ignored, so Norm moved to Arizona in an attempt to disappear from public view while receiving several stem cell treatments using his brother Neil's blood plasma. He used aliases to check in at the hospital, most commonly Stan Hooper as a nod to his character from his short-lived sitcom, to avoid news of his condition leaking to the media. And the aliases were mostly effective, save for some speculation about his health when one of the drugs he was taking for treatment, called dexamethasone, caused the usually thin comedian to gain weight. The treatments also seemed to be working, and the cancer went into remission shortly after his initial diagnosis, although Norm did have to give up golf and tennis as a result of some nerve damage after the treatments. But the cancer returned in 2020 and had unfortunately spread to the bone marrow, which can lead to a more deadly, acute form of leukemia. The prognosis was grim, and Macdonald, who initially believed he'd survive the ordeal, processed the news in the only way he knew how, by productively channeling his energy into finishing the material for what would become his final special. Which is why Laurie went into overdrive trying to pull off the impossible when she received the call from him about filming the Netflix special that June. She knew Norm had a procedure scheduled to have another stem cell transplant at the City of Hope Medical Center just east of Los Angeles, and Norm wanted something recorded before going in just in case things went south. She quickly set up a few cameras, pulled together some makeshift lighting, figured out the audio, and shot the special in her condo. Norm, clean-shaven, wearing a pair of clunky headphones over a hat with a blue sport coat over a pink golf shirt, then delivered 54 minutes of brand new material in a nearly empty room. It's like no other special, at once a product of the pandemic and a final love note to Macdonald's most ardent fans. Hoekstra would say, quote, "It really features his secret weapon, those eyes and those dimples, and his inner light is beaming as strongly as it ever did. It just didn't look like a man who was diminished in any way." It's a point easily understood when you hear the special.
Sometimes doctors just know smart words. You ever see those guys, you know? Like one time I remember I was real tired. I had this thing. I didn't know what it was. So I went in and I said, "Hey, doc, I got this thing, man. I'm real tired." He goes, "Sounds like chronic fatigue syndrome to me." I said, "Really? What's that?" He says, "Well, chronic means always, and fatigue means tired, and syndrome, that means something you got." Anyway, you can pay Agnes $80 on the way out.
Despite sounding as vibrant and sharp as ever on the special, just a little more than a year later, Norm Macdonald passed away at the hospital on September 14th, 2021. He was only 61 years old. I'm Derek Kaufman.
I'm Jason Beckerman.
And this is Last Days, Norm Macdonald.
After recording this special, Norm's health status briefly turned for the better, and the comedian was able to put on some weight and gain some strength. Of course, he poured all of his restored energy into his work. He banged out a rough screenplay for a movie adaptation of his critically acclaimed comic novel called Based on a True Story, a memoir. He started booking stand-up gigs again, although the pandemic lockdown continued to frustrate his efforts to find live audiences and venues. Still, he planned to return to one of his old favorite clubs, Caroline's on Broadway, in November 2021. He even booked a few private gigs. Colin Quinn would later say, quote, "He booked a gig with me in August to do some casinos, and we texted each other. I would have loved to have just filmed him and just interviewed him, and not about anything personal, because he didn't like that. When you watch little segments with him, he's just one of those guys you want to hear talk." But in July 2021, about a year after filming the Netflix special, Macdonald returned to the hospital for what was supposed to be just another outpatient round of chemotherapy. He would never leave. Due to the pandemic, doctors wanted him to stay overnight, and Macdonald developed an infection. His condition made ordinary infections much more serious because his immune system was seriously compromised by the blood cancer. He would go on to spend the last 6 weeks of his life at the City of Hope Hospital. According to Hoekstra, Norm didn't talk much of dying and seemed to believe he'd recover and continue working. In late July, he even recorded a voiceover for Seth MacFarlane's show The Orville while in the hospital, using a private room and turning off beeping monitors and hospital intercoms so nobody could tell where he was zooming in from. And just a month before he passed, he told Hoekstra he wanted to watch the special he recorded. So she brought the footage to the hospital, where he watched from his bed and even gave her notes.
And then he was gone. The news struck many of his closest friends as surreal. He'd done such an incredible job of keeping everyone in the dark about his health struggles that nobody was prepared for the loss. As with the shock from Bob Saget's sudden death just a few months later, the outpouring of grief from the close-knit community of stand-ups and SNL alums showed the impact of his decision to wage the battle privately. You know, Jason, when someone announces a battle with cancer, it really gives everyone a chance to confront the prospect of the loss before it actually happens. You know, Norm was absolutely right that it would change the way people interacted with him and perceive him as a person, but it's not entirely clear to me that it's a good thing that he kept it private. You know, he certainly didn't want to be pitied, and he depended on those good vibes, and that's why he decided to wage this in the private fashion he did for the good of his comedy. But that deeply personal decision to keep it a secret does come with a cost of never getting to fully see and hear how much people love you. Nobody gets to hear their own eulogy.
Yeah, Norm's an interesting guy, right? Norm's a different guy. He's not wired like most people, even among the sort of weird set of comedians. Comedians are an interesting sort of people to begin with. Norm was an outlier in that he was more sort of idiosyncratic. He was more private. He was his type of comedy was so soft and deadpan that he was just a different guy altogether. And so, yes.
He was odd.
I
he didn't
agree.
wear the neuroses like many comedians do sort of publicly.
Yes.
He was odd.
He missed out, as you said, on a lot of those sort of well wishes from people in his dying days and frankly, in the years before he died. But that's, I think, as Colin Quinn said, that's the kind of guy he was. He just didn't, it made him very uncomfortable when people got inside, and he didn't like to have that happen, which is why so few people knew about the diagnosis.
It's absolutely right. And he wasn't a man without close friends. I mean, Conan O'Brien and Andy Richter were very close with Norm Macdonald. They had him on their show countless times. They talk endlessly about loving to book him because it always made for a very funny show. And they touched on this idea of his decision to keep it private just a couple days after Norm's death.
I've had this gnawing regret this last day and a half, and it's reading all this praise for Norm, which again I believe is completely justified and will endure. And it's been a regret that he didn't get to experience this. You know, he took so much flack in his career. He took so much shit. And yes, he knew that he had fans, but I wish, you know, it's a common wish for people, but I wish he had been able to read the stuff that's being written about him. I wish he knew how beloved he is, and also how in awe comedians are of what he did and what he meant, and how you know,
how important he was to the people who are probably the most important people in the world to him.
Yeah.
Everyone, but especially comedians, were effusive in their praise for Norm Macdonald. As cliche as it sounds, Jason, he was truly the definition of a comedian's comedian. He didn't traffic in simple humor or low-hanging fruit. Jim Carrey tweeted after his death, quote, "My dear friend Norm Macdonald passed after a brave 10-year battle. He was one of our most precious gems, an honest and courageous comedy genius. I love him." Seth Meyers, late-night host and himself a veteran of the Weekend Update desk, shared a fitting tribute to one of his comedy icons, retelling his favorite Norm joke from the famed Update chair.
I always think about this. I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I got it right. This is my favorite Weekend Update joke of all time that I think about often. It is a perfect Norm joke. The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes.
Even his comedy targets, Jason, like Senator Bob Dole, who Norm hilariously portrayed as a third-person talking monotone old man on SNL during the 1996 presidential campaign, had this to say. He said, quote, "Norm was a great talent, and I love laughing with him on SNL. Bob Dole will miss Norm Macdonald," which I thought was such a fitting tribute.
Norm Macdonald portraying Bob Dole as always speaking in the third person about himself.
It was brilliant. Bob Dole was in on the joke, and that's how Norm did the impression. He wasn't sort of just mocking him, and Bob Dole knew that.
So you and I both like comedy, but you're really into it. You love comedy specials. You watch them all. You told me that Norm Macdonald was a comedian's comedian. He was one of the most beloved guys within that circle of comic geniuses, all the SNL guys, the Saggets of the world, all those guys of similar age. He was the one that they may have revered more than anyone else.
I think that's right. I mean, any conversation about Norm Macdonald is going to turn reverential at some point because he does stand in sort of the Mount Rushmore. Idiosyncratically, he's my favorite comedian. I always sort of cite him as my favorite stand-up of all time. But for all comedians, he's widely respected.
And anecdotally, we've had this email address people can send in ideas for about who they want to hear us talk about. Nobody's been referenced more often than Norm Macdonald. It's been, a dozen or so people have written in saying Norm Macdonald, Norm Macdonald. We finally got around to it, and I think we see why. He was so beloved. Again, so idiosyncratic, so different, but everybody finds him really, really funny and interesting.
That's exactly right.
Any conversation about Norm Macdonald has to start with stand-up comedy, even if his cultural cachet extended beyond the relatively insular world of dimly lit, smoke-filled comedy clubs into the realm of sketch comedy with SNL. Hollywood movies like Dirty Work, and even popular fast food institutions like KFC, it all started with stand-up. He started off performing in his native Canada, taking gigs at various comedy clubs in Ottawa, and regularly appearing at a place called Yuck Yucks by the mid-'80s. He honed his dry style of observational comedy during these early years, and eventually hit the stage on Star Search in 1990.
I'm feeling great. I finally quit smoking, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I smoked ever since I was a kid, so it's kind of tough for me, I remember once I was 8 years old, little kid, behind my garage, sneaking a cigarette back there, and my dad caught me. He hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, What he did is he pulled out a big cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, this giant cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it. All the way through, right to the end. That's when I started smoking cigars real heavy.
What really stands out, Derek, about all these early performances is how fully realized his voice was at such an early stage in his career. You can listen to him then, and you hear the same guy that we then heard for the next 30 years.
It's incredible because so many comedians on those Star Search, they really develop over time. You can look at like Jim Carrey, he was much zanier, and he sort of honed the craft, but Norm was Norm from the beginning.
It wasn't raw and experimental, right? It was crisp. His persona was there. It was locked in right from the start. He became a fixture on late-night shows. David Letterman, known for having one of the keenest eyes for comedic talent, would say, quote, "If we could have, we would have Norm on every week." Conan O'Brien echoed that sentiment, giving Norm time for a set and often extending his appearances for long sessions on the interview couch. This is time usually reserved for bigger celebrities promoting their movies and television projects, but you could just tell that Letterman and Conan liked hanging out with him and being with Norm, who was consistently hilarious and just fun to be around. And man, was he prolific, offering different material virtually every time he took the stage. Many comedians will find their favorite set and run it into the ground, performing it again and again to new audiences. Norm was among that small handful of very best, like Chappelle, Louis C.K., and others, who consistently worked on and performed new material. And like those guys, even Norm's late career stuff was absolutely brilliant.
There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but... in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. That had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close.
But to focus on just the quality of the jokes doesn't really capture what made Norm Macdonald so special to other comedians. It really was his experimental nature and fearlessness that turned him into a legend of the form and an icon for a whole generation of comedians that followed him. But those words, experimental and fearless, are thrown around a lot in comedy. And it's given to a lot of comedians who really can't back it up. But I wanted to spend the rest of this episode showing you exactly how Norm Macdonald backed up those two labels that he got. And I wanted to start with his fearlessness. First, at the height of his fame as SNL's Weekend Update correspondent, Norm Macdonald was famously replaced by Colin Quinn in 1998 for telling too many jokes like this about O.J. Simpson.
According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses," or trait.
Now, you have to imagine this. So he was warned not to tell these jokes, Jason. He has maybe the best gig in all of comedy because week in and week out, you're just writing jokes about headlines. It's where you want to be in comedy. And
you also get paid a lot of money compared to most comedians who struggle through. He's getting paid a fortune on SNL for 20 minutes a night.
20 minutes,
10
maybe,
minutes a night.
maybe.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to do these jokes. He felt they were very funny. They were very topical, and he didn't want to be dissuaded from doing so. You can see the compilations on YouTube if you're ever curious. The story went that Don Ohlmeyer, president of NBC's West Coast division, had Macdonald removed because he was good friends with OJ and was sick of Macdonald calling him a murderer week in and week out. Ohlmeyer always denied these rumors. He claimed Macdonald was removed for declining ratings and a drop-off in quality, but Norm never bought it and thought Ohlmeyer used his power to get revenge on him for many, many years, even pulling ads from his movies and hurting his chances at booking future projects. Norm would later soften a bit. He conceded that his version of Weekend Update, which many fans consider the best version, wasn't audience-pleasing, saying he saw Ohlmeyer's point, because why would you want some dude who's not trying to please the audience? His writing partner, Jim Downey, would echo this later in interviews, saying Norm would often take jokes that bombed during dress rehearsal and do them on the live show anyway because he believed in them and not caring if the audience found them funny or not. Still, the Ohlmeyer episode bolstered Macdonald in comedy circles as a guy who was willing to put his comedic principles ahead of his career prospects.
Another great example of that fearlessness, Norm would follow up his SNL incident with an appearance as a host of the ESPY Awards in 1998 that instantly became the stuff of comedy legend. At the time, the awards were only 6 years old, and it was considered a somewhat tame event with inoffensive jokes. Coddled athletes with big egos can be a little bit thin-skinned, so the choice to have Norm MC the event was a risk. The point was to celebrate amazing feats and accomplishments in sports in a glossy award show, sort of like the Oscars for athletes. Norm, still dealing with the OJ fallout from SNL, blew that all up with his monologue, telling a series of jokes that left the athletes' jaws on the floor, including this one.
Yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So I was a little late here tonight. I took a cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like,
Jason, have you ever seen the clip? I mean, it's got all the greats from that era. You've got Ken Griffey Jr.'s jaws just dropping as he is just slaying.
It's one of the funniest clips that exists on the internet. In this time, we've become far more irreverent. We don't sort of have the same principled homage that we pay to celebs. And so now these things like the Ricky Gervaises of the world,
right.
You know, it's okay to go on and just tear celebs to shreds. They're richer and more famous and more talented than we all are. So it's okay to make fun of him. But at the time, he was breaking new ground, and there were a lot of athletes who did not like it. They had never been taken to task to their faces like this. That you got to go watch the video. It's really fantastic. In typical Norm fashion, he leaned into the controversy over the OJ jokes, further cementing his status as the most courageous big-name comic on the scene.
And now I want to shift to talking about his experimental nature, because there's a lot of comedians who are okay with pushing the envelope and are called fearless, but he also sort of changed the form of comedy in a lot of meaningful ways. First, Norm was always playing with the form of comedy and remained completely unwilling to just mail it in with the same tired jokes and style. I've said this about how he always turned in new material. And in some ways, he seemed more tickled by bombing on stage than getting laughs. His performance at the 2008 Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget is probably the best example of this. The show had become a sort of arms race at the time, with comedians one-upping each other to say the raciest, raunchiest, and most offensive comments they could come up with. Norm could have easily played this game, but instead, he took the stage and delivered lines like this.
As you can see, he has wavy hair. It's waving goodbye on account he's going bald. No, I think that Bob should join the Ku Klux Klan. And that's not because he's racist. He's not racist. It's just that he'd look a lot better with a hood over his head on account of his face.
So, Jason, rather than provide more of the same and just get as raunchy as possible and say nasty things about B. Arthur, I mean, the roasts are very funny. I don't want to take anything away from what Jeff Ross has done with the roast. They're incredible.
Apparently,
they're
want to
a lot of fun to watch.
B. Arthur, though.
Some of the best jokes are at
drive-by at B. Arthur.
But instead of doing this, he just blew up the entire form. He delivered a slew of wholesome dad jokes and avuncular one-liners to a smattering of sort of confused looks, polite chuckles. It was so out of place that it seemed oddly aggressive in its own way and has become one of his most legendary moments of experimental comedy. And second, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, and perhaps his most successful experiment was Norm's version of a joke called The Moth. Look, it's too long to play here and needs to be heard in its entirety, but here's a snippet.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office. Right?
You are correct. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "What's the problem? Where do I begin, man?" He goes, "I go to work for Gregory Olinovich, and all day long I work. Honestly, Doc, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know if Gregory Olinovich knows. He only knows that he has power over me, and that seems to bring him happiness."
The story behind it was that Norm needed to fill an entire segment after a commercial break, but had nothing further prepared for Conan that night. So he stretched a 20-second joke he heard from Colin Quinn and turned it into a 7-minute tour de force, complete with a Chekhov play reference with sadness and Russian character names. And in the process, he blew up the whole concept of brevity being the soul of wit. The only thing that matters is the journey of the joke, because the punchline of The Moth is completely hokey. And it's just absolutely brilliant. And it's probably the biggest example of why he stands out to me as the greatest comedian of all time.
Although his devotion to the craft of comedy was sincere, Norm wasn't some fussy artist completely removed from the real world. He certainly enjoyed some of the trappings of success, including high-stakes gambling and celebrity golf games. He also enjoyed his fair share of commercial success, starring in the cult comedy classic Dirty Work in 1998, making a couple of attempts at becoming a sitcom star with The Norm Show and A Minute with Stan Hooper, and even scored a memorable spot as an KFC pitchman.
Here are some slides for my research trip down to Nashville. Now, here I am at the airport. Here I am trying classic Nashville hot chicken with its spicy, smoky flavor. Here I am thinking, man, this would be great with my crispy hand-prepared chicken. Here I am writing down the recipe. And here I am with KFC's new Nashville hot chicken, straight from Nashville for a limited time only.
But none of it seemed to matter as much to Norm as his devotion to telling jokes. His last significant effort was a podcast called Norm Macdonald Live with his sidekick Adam Egget. It wasn't a huge success, but the project was a great showcase of Norm and his element. He would tell offbeat jokes, talk to guests that interested him like David Letterman and country star Billy Joel Shaver, and seemed to relish just being himself and laughing with a buddy. In his interview with Letterman, he even got briefly philosophical talking about death, but even did that in a characteristically Norm way.
You've been thinking about your mortality a lot lately, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you turn 70 and it's you can't run from it.
Ah, fuck, I was hoping you could. When I have my funeral, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, most of these funerals, crying and sad and everything like that. And that's what I like, you know? I don't want, I've heard of other ones, let's have a party. Whoa, whoa.
No party.
There'll be a lot of party days later. But right now, I'm dead.
But he wasn't always going for the laugh when it came to the subject of death. Towards the end of his life, he sat down for an interview with Larry King, and the topic of death came up. Norm had hilariously portrayed Larry King on SNL, but there was a clear warmth and respect between the two men. Now that both men have passed, their exchange about the topic of their own deaths has taken on a new poignancy.
Yeah, well, I have a fear of not existing.
Yes. But you know, the writer Nabokov said that he saw a picture one time, and it was a picture of before he was born. And it was a picture of his mother with his brother and sister that were older than him, but he had not been born yet. And he said when he saw that picture, there was no terror in him, even though he was looking at a picture where he didn't exist.
But he didn't know anything, so.
Right, he didn't, but looking at that picture didn't terrify him that he didn't exist. So he said, it won't terrify me afterwards.
Because I won't know.
Yeah, because
But
you won't die.
But the knowing that I won't know.
No, that's
that's what
right.
drives me.
Yeah,
of course, I know I won't know, so.
Yeah. No, if you were if you were a dog or a cat,
here we go.
They got it all figured out.
Well, Martin Short said, when you slept last night, you could have been dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't wake up this morning, how would you know?
Jason, as I've mentioned before, this episode's very personal to me because Norm Macdonald is without a doubt my favorite stand-up comedian of all time, as I said. It's not even really that close. I don't think putting him on a Mount Rushmore of my other favorites even makes much sense because my personal comedy mountain would be just his face with that impish little smirk. I think Conan said it best when he said, selfishly, I don't feel badly for Norm. I feel badly for all of us. And because he's so singular and inimitable, in my estimation, I didn't think it would make any sense to close this episode with someone else's voice talking about Norm. I just wanted to end with Norm at his best, talking about the craft of comedy with another comedian, Mark Maron, and describing what, to him, would make for the ever-elusive perfect joke.
Like at Update, I was always saying, I always thought, I said the perfect joke would be if the punchline and the setup were almost identical. Yeah. And then I was saying, can we ever get a joke like that? That would be the coolest. And then we actually did get one joke that was pretty close to that, not perfect, but it was Lyle Lovett and Julia Roberts are getting a divorce, and you know, people close to the couple say the reason is because he's Lyle Lovett and she's Julia Roberts. So it was pretty close. You know, the setup and the punchline were pretty close to each other. I was happy with that one.
That was the grail?
Yeah, that was the grail. What about those commercials where the guy just tells you stuff you already know? Like there's this one with William Devane, and he goes, you like gold? And you're like, yes, of course. You should buy a big bar of gold and put it in your safe. You go, well, I wish I could. That'd be very nice. Do you know gold's always been valuable? Yes, I know everything you're telling me. Daffy Duck told me that when I was a little kid. I know all about how gold is valuable. There's one that I don't understand, but it's called reverse mortgage. I never heard of one of these things. And it has a guy on it, and he goes, I'm a guy. And I want to tell you about reverse mortgages. You've probably never heard of them, but y'all know what a mortgage is. That's when you and your loved one, you get together a grub stake, you know, a little bit of money, and by God, you put it down on a piece of land or a house. you know? And then every month you pay what's called a mortgage, you know, which is some money to the bank. And then 20 years pass or 30, and you have a big party with your friends, all your kith and kin come, and you burn the mortgage, and by God, you own a piece of the American dream. Anyways, this is the complete opposite. So, we'd be glad to send you some brochures. It's a picture of you with no shelter. You know, I'm trying to be a better person. I don't know if you're religious or not. I'm sort of half religious, half not. I try to obey the commandments. And it's funny that some of the commandments are very easy to obey, and some are very difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, thou shalt not kill. That's pretty easy to obey that, you know? But then there's other ones that are really hard to obey. Like there's one that says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's ox. And now, I have this old scraggly fucking ox. I bought him used. That was my first mistake. And the guy that sold it to me didn't tell me about all the fucking diseases this thing has. So he fucking wandered around. He can't pull anything. And he has a big thing around his neck like a bell, and that caused neck problems, so I have to take that off. And then I walk past my neighbor's house, and I look in his garage, and here stands the most beautiful, like blue-gray Belgian ox that I've ever laid eyes upon. And he's brushing his lustrous... And I'm not supposed to covet it. Thou shalt not bear false witness. That's a tough one. But it's good, you know, not to lie. But it's very, very hard, you know, not lying. Because you want people to like you, and you know what I mean? All kinds of reasons to lie. I thought of a way of not lying, and I'll share it with you if you like. You can tell the truth, word for word, absolutely true. But when you do it, you use a sarcastic accent. So I'll give you an example. Like your wife goes, hey, I noticed at dinner you were looking at my sister. You're not attracted to my sister, are you? And then you go, oh, yes. I forgot to tell you, I'm attracted to your sister. She's like, all right, Henry, never mind. You go, no, why? It's true. I want to fuck her. Hey, the only reason I married you is to fuck your sister, right? She's like, nah, I shouldn't have brought it up. No, why wouldn't you bring it up? I mean, you're the victim of this whole thing. I remember at the vows, I kept thinking, I am going to seduce every member of my wife's family. Regardless of gender, I'm gonna fuck all of them. Then afterwards, I'm gonna invite them over to the house and set it on fire, killing them all. And then I'm gonna move on to the next town where I do it again. And it's like, all right, Henry, we don't need to hear. You don't have to be like this. Why? What? You're the good person in this scenario. I'm the guy that goes from town to town, fucking and murdering entire families, and leaving conflagrations of ashes that used to be human beings. I'm the most savage and prolific serial killer that ever was, and I've just never been found out yet, that's all. You know, just go to sleep. Yeah, I'll go to sleep. Or maybe I'll buy kerosene all night. So, that's just an example. You don't have to do that one. Just saying, that's all. But listen, there's important things going on in the world. It's raining in the forests. And I don't want to get too political with you, but it's a true fact. Now, I know science, and I would not be surprised at all if, like, 10 years from now, scientists went, God damn, it's good we burned down that motherfucking rainforest. Turned out that's where all the spiders and snakes lived and shit. That's what started that snake flu that nearly took everybody out. Nobody knows nothing. But you know, you're supposed to crunch up cans, and I think it's a good thing. You know, you got the orange and then the green, there's blue, and you crunch the cans and you put that, and you should do that. I'm not doing it, but you guys should do it because it's important, you know? It's always supposed to be for the people from the future. That's how they try to trick you, you know? They always go, the children are the future, which is true. But they said that when I was a child. Then I grew up, I was like, here I am. And they're like, now it's the other kids. I go, you fucker. I had a feeling there was something here. I know a Ponzi scheme when I see one. Now it's the other children. Listen, this has all been wonderful, but I will tell you this. Nothing I've said really is of substance. I find, and it's not just me, I find like most of my act is just, you know, gossip and trickery. You know what I mean? Like some cheap magician, you know? So I'll tell you the only thing I know for a fact, and it's something that we all know. Everybody knows it, but it's harder to act on it than it is. But the only really true thing is that we all must love each other. And it's very difficult, you know? It's very, very hard. Hey, what about this? A dog loves people. You think it's hard to love people. A dog loves like my dog, right? I've never seen such a love, no judgment. Like my dog, all he does is love me. When I wake up, I think he watches me sleeping. Because when I wake up, he's right there, and he's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. He jumps up. He's licking my face. I mean, he's like, I love you more than anything. You're the greatest. And I go, thanks, Tater. You're cool, too. I love you. I love you more than anything. I go, I love you, too. Remember yesterday when you threw that bone and turned out to be a rubber bone? I was like, yeah, it's a joke. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, right? He goes, that wasn't. I wasn't. I was laughing. It was funny. You love me so much. And I love you. This is the greatest thing. I'm just going to kiss you and kiss you and kiss you forever. I go, yes, you can do that. I'm going to just keep kissing you. And I go, okay, get the fuck away from me, all right? Just leave me alone, would ya? I got to write shit into a magic phone and stuff. I got no time for this. Fucking dog stuff. And then my dog goes, you're right. I find you and I love you, but I just push too hard. I push and I push and I push and I push you away. I'm no good. I'm no damn good. But what say I just stood here and stared at you completely quietly until finally you looked at me again with some look of love, and then I jump up and love you again. And you go, yes, that would be fine. Do that. They don't judge dogs. We judge, all our love comes with caveats, there's no such thing as unconditional love with human beings. But dogs, they don't care. They love. Hitler had a dog. Now you think of that. I'm no fan of Hitler. I never liked him. I didn't like him before it was cool not to like him. But there was a dog in history who loved Hitler more than anyone. He would wake up in the morning, go, where's Hitler? And Goering or something would go like, he's not here, he's doing some evil stuff. I've explained to you, he spends most of his time doing evil stuff. You can't see him that often. He goes, okay, I don't know. I'm not trying to, listen, Goering, I love you. I love Mengele, I love everybody. All of you guys are the greatest. But it's just Hitler is the greatest man who's ever lived. This is why we ask that you don't use recording devices. I don't want to be with fucking Harvey Levin tomorrow or something. Did you say Hitler was the great? And what would be my fucking answer? I go, no, it was a dog. That wouldn't work. I'd be fucked. But I'll be goddamned if I'm going to end a special talking about Hitler. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And a special. I'm going to call my special Hitler's Dog.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy CV with another reaction video. This is going to be, you guessed it, Norm Macdonald. This was highly requested. Now, I don't want this to be a Norm Macdonald channel, but I'm loving Norm Macdonald's stand-up, man. And so let's keep it going just for a little bit. But this one's called Norm Macdonald and Courtney Thorne-Smith. I have no clue who that is. Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Now, before we start, I used to watch Conan O'Brien a lot, right? But I stopped watching it when he went to TBS. Yeah, he went to TBS. I don't know what channel it is for you guys, but here in Massachusetts, it was TBS or TNT. I think it was TBS. I stopped watching when he went to TBS. I started watching when he used to do that bit. I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a bit where he would predict the future. It was like in the year 2000. Come on, man. Who remembers that? Anyways. All right, let's get this to 100 likes. We can't appreciate you guys, man. I think I'm going to do 2 more Norm Macdonald's, and then we're going to kind of relax a little bit and do some other comedians. But I do have a lot of videos that I want to watch, but I have 2 ready, and I'll post it. All right, let's do it.
All right, everybody, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 5 seasons, my next guest has played Allison Parker, one of the many dysfunctional but gorgeous residents of Melrose Place. Please welcome Courtney Thorne-Smith.
Skinny Andy. Oh, that's Courtney? I never knew her name, dude. She was on Melrose Place. I don't know if you guys remember that. Right? It's her, I think. Okay, Norm. It is her. Yeah, she used to be on a show called Melrose Place. If y'all remember that, I was a kid, but you know, my sister used to watch it, so I kind of like, man, that's a lot of kissing. She was everywhere.
Norm, you're sick and you're all over her like a bear rug. Just leave her alone.
No, you know, because before, during the commercial, I was saying I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
And then you said you did too.
I said I did. When you were on Day by Day, I developed this big crush on you, and this whole talk show is a scheme to get you here.
I liked her when she was on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. Not the Tomorrow Show,
So
but the Later Show.
He says to me in the break,
You have no idea who I am.
Yeah, no, I know from that show.
That's funny though that like nobody laughed at that because Conan said a real show, and this dude says, never mind.
Show, that's all.
He says to me, "Oh, I really like her. I saw her. I really think she's great. I really have a crush on her." And I said, "Where? You saw her at Melrose Place?" He said, "No, I was watching Tom Snyder, and she was on. And she was a great guest." And I said, "Wait a minute, that's the show that's opposite our show. Why weren't you watching our show, pal?"
Because I wasn't on it that night.
All right, no, stay. We have exciting stuff.
They're like
to talk
fighting
about.
for her.
You've been on this show, Melrose Place, for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
And now you're leaving. Why are you leaving?
It's time.
She got a strong jaw, man.
Be fired, rehired, drunk, sober.
I understand.
know.
I
Thank
understand.
you.
Yes, I see. You mean you got tired of because they had your character pretty much go insane, go through all these really weird.
Allison has been through so much. I was sexually harassed, carjacked, had an affair with a married man who then tried to rape me and then shot himself while on the phone with me. I was drunk, sober. Well, getting sober, though, I got to have an affair.
Did he do all that stuff while on the phone with you, or just shot himself? Wait, I'm curious.
No, I was on the phone in the office, which makes it really awkward.
All right, okay.
And he was in Seattle, and he shot himself.
Oh my God!
While he was on the phone, I know.
Yeah, and so you finally.
You can't even say that today.
This character can do, right?
I can't do anymore. I've been married and divorced and widowed.
What do we say?
And it's
Unalive?
What's going to happen in the season finale? Can you give us a tip for all those fans out there? What's going to happen?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
You'd be mad at
Good
me
night,
if I
everybody.
did.
We had a good time. No, I mean, give us some sense of is it one of those? Because every year they try and have a season finale where everybody gets into a Zeppelin and blows up. Something.
Well, now you've given it away.
It's a Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin. All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met.
He's so stupid.
No, because I swear to God, and when I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
Place?
a Melrose Place.
Okay,
You
all
know
right.
this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these tourists, and these tourists they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah.
That's it. He makes it so awkward, man.
Well, thanks for the help, pal. He'll get over it. You'll see. Now, I got to ask you about this because we... Shut up. That makes it all right. Well, I want to talk to you about something because this came up earlier in the show accidentally because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight, and it's best sometimes if I don't know. But he mentioned Carrot Top. You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay.
Carrot Top is nuts.
It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put
out
the
yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again just so we can all see him? Oh, there it is again, yeah. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. This begs the question now, why a movie with Carrot Top?
Why a movie with Carrot Top?
I mean, no, I don't know much about Carrot Top, I don't know much about him. I'm a little jealous because he's a red-haired comedian, and I felt like maybe you'd do a movie with me first, then move on to Carrot Top, then to Ralph Mal from Happy Days. Sort of the three. There's an order in which you do movies with the redheads. What's he like, first of all?
He's extraordinarily sweet.
Nice guy.
He really is. And he worked very hard, and he was adorable.
And he worked with a lot of props and stuff, too, right?
Not in the movie.
Oh, in the movie they took his props away?
Props away.
That's a bad time to suddenly take away everything you know about comedy. You know, you've been using props now all your life for comedy.
That's messed up.
Now we're going to take them away when you make your first movie. Was he okay, though, with it? He was cool?
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top. Basically what we were doing.
Wow! I got to check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds?
Oh my God.
Sure ejaculated.
You know what happened? This is what happened. You know what happened? He said 9.5 seconds, and I'm looking at him because I know there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to, but no. But what's the movie going to be called?
I don't know why he had to explain it.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for Courtney.
You scare everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I would see any movie with this girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
Okay. As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
Don't ask him.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Don't ask him. Oh, man.
All right, everybody. That's pretty much it.
Bro, I've said it before, man. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to Norm. Like, you know, that's just random stuff, man. Like I said, that's just freestyling it, right? Like I said, man, he's like a cool uncle that you could just sit there and just listen to him talk all day, and it's gonna be hilarious. Just how he says it and how he comes up with with anything. That was funny, man. That last one was funny. I'm like, don't ask this dude. Don't ask him because he could do it. And then, wow, that was a good one, man. Anyways, man, and that's the thing about Norm, man. He's just like I said, he's just like an uncle, man. And him and obviously Conan, they do have a nice chemistry, obviously. I've never seen this, but I've watched them before, and I've always said they're just like cool together. You know what I mean? And they just bounce off each other too. So they're both just nice guys, playful, and that's what you get, man. But yeah, there's a lot of Norm requests, but like I said, I want to do a few others. Especially female comedian. There's no female comedian on this channel. Who's my favorite female comedian? Samoa. I don't know if you guys know Samoa, but Samoa is one of my favorite. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know a lot of female comedian. What about the what's her name? The old lady that used to be on E. Oh my God, she passed away. Just something Jones? Something Jones. I can't remember her name, but I can see her face. Old. She used to be on E, and she didn't give a damn. Is it Jones? God, I have a brain fart right now. I can see her face. Oh my God, what is her name? Anyways, so I know her, but I don't know a lot of her stand-up. I'm only saying her because I watched her on E, the channel E Hollywood or whatever it used to be called. So that's all I know about her, but never saw her stand-up. I don't even know if she does stand-up. But yeah, when it comes to female comedians, I love Samoa, but other than that, I don't know any. So if you guys can think of a female comedian, put in the comment section below, because like I said, man, I don't want to just do Norm, even though I'm loving it. But you know, let's take a break a little bit and then we'll come back, because I got a lot of Norm requests, so we'll do it. Anyways, keep your head up. Love you guys as always. Till next time. Peace. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy CV with another reaction video. The only reason we're here is because of Shane Gillis. A couple of you guys said, hey, go watch the Norm Macdonald one. Now, I know who Norm is. I watched him on Saturday Night Live a few times. Have I watched any of his stand-up? Nope. Do I think he's funny? I think he's hilarious. The only time I saw Norm, when he did like talk shows, you know, like David Letterman, Conan O'Brien. I've always thought he was hilarious, but never watched a stand-up comedy of his. So with this channel, maybe we'll do that. By the time, I mean, I did come to this country in '92. Took me a few years to learn English. I'm still not comfortable with English. It is my second language, but you know, so I used to watch Saturday Night Live. I just didn't know what they were saying. Like, you know, I love the comedy of, who's the big dude? Chris Farley, because he was jumping on tables, stuff like that, because, you know, I didn't know how to speak English. But I enjoy the comics that use their body and their hands to do comedy, because my English was just terrible. Still is till this day. But anyways, man, rest in peace, Norm Macdonald, man. Let's get this to 50 likes if we can. I hope I can understand these jokes, since this is what, I don't know, 1998? Bro, that's a long time. So I can't even remember what was happening at that time, especially the current events, if he's joking about that. So it may just go over my head. So bear with me, man. All right, let's do this, man.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Esma. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns.
Is it a Monica Lewinsky? Like, it's going to be hard for me to get everything.
I'll be having a little improper relations backstage a little later.
Improper relations backstage. I think this is maybe a Monica Lewinsky joke. I just don't remember.
But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh? The ESPYs are 6 years old. Although,
that's still fairly new.
Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So.
And you know what? Rest in peace, Anthony Mason as well, and rest in peace, Norm. That's an Anthony Mason joke, man. Usually Anthony Mason is it the Anthony Mason I'm thinking about? And by the way, those that tell me to stop pausing, shut up. You've seen this a million times, so shut up. Don't want to hear it, bro. Usually Anthony Mason, I don't know if he's talking about the basketball player. He's usually, you know, beating up something, but oof. 18-0, all right.
Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So. He'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So I was a little late here tonight. I took a cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like, Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well.
Here's the thing, man. I know Ken Griffey was just like, you know, I know who he is. He's a baseball player, and Hideki's like, you know, the baseball player. That's what's funny about that. I mean, these guys seem to be like, you know, a little bit scared too, man. I guess like someone says, man, they don't want to ruin the image, but it's like, man, laugh at yourself. That's what comedy's about, man. The good comedians too, usually the comedy comes from life experience, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes things funnier, man. You did say Hideki.
Arabu. I'm like,
Look at him. He's like, hey, man.
Araba's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here.
Oh, my God,
It's great
bro.
to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. This seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah.
Still disappointed today.
Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack.
I was going to say the same thing. What?
Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that.
Very true. He predicted the
So
future.
they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that?
Oh, no, this is old. Wait. Yeah, this is when Terrell Davis was still playing, right? They won, what, back-to-back, I think? It's been a while, man. Yeah, Terrell Davis.
Denver did great, you know. There he is.
The Mile High salute.
I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice.
Cheese heads.
And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say
Jesus Christ.
They say the whole city's going to go nuts.
10
the Nuggets
games.
are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either.
Now that is a good joke. I don't know how bad Denver Nuggets was back then. I don't know if this was probably the Carmelo. I don't know. Maybe Carmelo was on that team. I don't know. But that's hilarious. George Karl as a coach, maybe. I don't know how bad, but that's funny, though. That is hilarious, man.
Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable.
Hey, rest in peace, Kobe, bro. Damn. It's a Kobe joke?
Amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah, Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though.
I mean, he
about
does
leaving.
love
In fact,
his
he's already
golf,
called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. You know, That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to the next 2 weeks, like hockey and...
Hockey?
Well, just hockey, really.
You can feel it coming, though. You can feel it. You can write that.
I was watching last night. I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Oh Lord! There was an East German woman. I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was.
Hey, Norm, supposedly we're going to be testing that stuff nowadays, or last year we didn't, so I don't know, man. Norm, you predict the futures here, buddy.
Oh, my goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh?
Can't wait to go home and watch some prom.
Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know? It's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one?
That's funny, man.
Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy?
Boom. Never watched him play,
Boomer,
though.
of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So... And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had.
Oh, so this is the one. Okay.
Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. It's a word of advice.
Bro, look at Ken Griffey's face. He's like, what? Ken Griffey did a double take. Look at it.
All bets are off.
Look at him. He's like, whoa.
It's a word of advice. Folks, before we can...
Oh, man. All right. So, listen, I never saw this, so, you know, a lot of you guys said go back and just kind of, like, watch a little bit. I don't know. I think the people was a little bit looser with Norm. I actually think Norm's joke was a little bit more risque than what we saw the other day, in my opinion. I mean, he was talking about go back, Mr. Foreign, talking about Hideki. Is it Hideki? I think I'm saying his name wrong, but it's been a long time. But yeah, listen, man, I don't know what it is about Norm. It's his comedic pace, right? And the way he sounds, it's just like I love his pace. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a thing when it comes to comedy, but it's the way he does the delivery and it's his own pace. It's just like, it sounds like he's struggling. It's like, you know, and then boom, jab, boom, punchlines. So listen, like I said, I've watched probably all his interviews he's done with Letterman to even Jay Leno. I thought he was a hilarious guy when he does interviews, but never took the time to look into his comedy specials or anything. And just before he passed, I watched a few things that he did on YouTube as well. So maybe if there's a stand-up out there, any bits that he did, put in the comment section below, man. I'll definitely watch it. Like I said, never ever watched any of his stand-ups. I just think he's just funny. I think he's hilarious. Just having a conversation. That's what I like about him. Other than that, I've never seen his work. So, anyways, man. Yeah, put in the comment section below if there's more on Norm Macdonald. Rest in peace, Norm. And yeah, we'll get to it, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Keep your head up. Love you guys always. Till next time. Peace. Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy CV with the reaction video. This is going to be a video that was requested by someone. And it's Norm Macdonald, and it's called San Francisco. I've never seen Norm stand up, and so this would really be my first time, to be honest with you, other than the ESPN monologue that we did. But also, like I said before, I've only seen Norm doing like interviews, and I thought he was funny. Some Saturday Night Live stuff where he was just doing like the desk thing, whatever that's called, monologue, I guess. But yeah, so this will really be the first time I've seen this dude on stage doing his thing. But this is only like 5 minutes, so it's kind of short. But anyways, let's get this 25 likes we can, man. Appreciate you guys. Norm Macdonald.
But anyways, so San Francisco, man. What else? What else is San Francisco famous for?
Uh-oh.
Oh, guys sucking and fucking each other. I forgot about that. They're equally proud, by the way. They're just as proud as straight people. They're sucking and fucking. As a matter of fact, every year they're so proud they have a parade for it. It's called the Gay Pride Parade, and it's an odd thing to me because I'll tell you something. When I was a boy, you know, and I'm older than you fellers, but when I was 6 years of age, I remember my dad showing me on the television there was a parade because Neil Armstrong and the boys, why they had gone to the moon.
Okay.
Here man had touched the satellite that whirls around our whirling cinder, and then they came back. Now, they had a parade for them. My dad had me watching on his little Philco TV that he kept in the kitchen. And he said, I remember he said, watch this, son, you know. And Neil Armstrong and the boys were going down ticker tape Fifth Avenue. It was like a very majestic moment. Now, this is how parades have, in my mind, devolved a little. Now, it's a bunch of guys who like sucking and fucking each other.
Oh, man. That's funny, bro.
Am I supposed to bring my kid on my shoulders? Hey, look at that. Enjoy your cotton candy. There's some more guys who like sucking and fucking each other.
Oh, shit.
And they like doing it. I don't think you get a parade for something you like. Like, if they didn't like, maybe then I'd show up. You know what I mean? If it was like, I don't like it, but God damn it, I'll do it for my country. Ah! Then I go, son, that man's a patriot. He understands there's greater than the individual. There's. But there is.
Yo, I don't know what it is with this dude. I don't know if he has like some kind of tick. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man. It's like he's got this like I don't know if there was something wrong with him or is it just his like style or what do they call it, like his shtick. But it's got like I don't know how to explain it. It's like the way it's like he doesn't even care. He's just like, hey, you know. It's like I don't know. I feel like maybe he has something going on with him that I don't know about, but it goes with his routine. Maybe it's just his routine. That's what it is.
One very touching moment, because a guy took me to this gay pride parade, and the most touching moment, makes you cry, is there's the parents of the adult gay children, and they're holding like signs and stuff, you know, and it's the most moving part of it. And well, first of all, they're not dancing around in leather and shit, and but. You see them, and some of these guys are old fellows. You could tell, you know, are in Korea and stuff. You know what I mean? And they carry signs that say, you know, I am proud that my son is gay. You know, and it's so beautiful. But I think they're choosing the wrong words because pride. Again, I don't, you know. There's a difference between accepting and loving and everything like that. But you know, I don't think anybody's
bragging about it down at work or anything. You know?
Man, you telling him how proud you are? Well, I'm
He goes, hey
shut up.
guys, come over here, man. I want to tell you something about my youngest son, Bill. McCluskey, get over here. I want to tell you about Bill. We're so proud of him. He graduated Harvard this year, top of his class. Gonna be a lawyer. What do you think of that, huh? You can use him, McCluskey, next time you get in trouble. Ah, my son. None of us McPhersons ever graduated the 5th grade. We're all just a bunch of chunks of coal, but it's all gonna change now.
What are you proud
Our
of?
young son, Bill. Tell you something else we're proud of him for. He was on the junior varsity basketball team, and in a span of 7 games, he had 4 triple-doubles to end the season. What do you think of that, huh? Unbelievable. Also loves cock. I don't know. In his mouth, up his ass. This kid, he doesn't care. I don't know how he does it. I can't do it myself. Yeah. My son Bill. Gonna be a lawyer. Oh, my God. I got a picture of him. He's going to be articling in Greenwich next year. There he is. He's graduated. That's his graduation picture. Look at that, huh? With his robes there and the mortar board. You know, look at... It's the hat, McCluskey, you ignorant bastard. They call it that. Look at him there, huh? What a picture. You can't see it in the picture, but he's got 8 cocks wedged up his ass. And, of course, you can see the fine spray of jizz arcing over his tongue as he greedily laps it up. Well.
Yo, I'm gonna pass out. Hold on. Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Hold on a second.
And of course, you can see the fine spray of jizz.
Yo, the fine spray of... Oh God.
Arcing over his tongue as he greedily...
He said arcing over his tongue.
Laps it up. Well. I feel so much pride when I see that picture. Pride is the thing that I most...
Wait,
it is the thing. So much pride when I see that picture.
That voice crack?
I feel so much pride when I see that picture. Pride is the thing that I most feel.
Oh my God. Yo, let me tell you guys something. Do you think the voice crack was in there? I think it just happened. That made it so much funnier. I don't think you can plan a voice crack. Bro, oh my God. Can you imagine this? Just what, 5 minutes of this joke being done today? You would be on TikTok and The View the next day, calling for your head, calling for the microphone out of your hands. I don't know if you can get away with that stuff today, man. Even though to me it wasn't even that bad, but the fact that he says, look at the picture. He's got about 18 stuffed, jammed up there. You know, I can't even say the word because they might just block it. That's what's crazy with today, bro. But like I said, man, does Norm have some sort of tick, or is that his routine? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like he does this thing with his voice. It's like I don't know. I feel like he probably had something going on with him in real life, and he just, you know, that's just how he is and who he is. But I think it goes with his comedy, unless if that's how he is, you know what I mean? And I just think it's great. I just love the pause and the demeanor, the I don't care demeanor. It's just like, oh, look at this guy. I just love that, man. I don't know, man. Like, it's just punches after punches, getting right to it. I do have another Norm Macdonald video that I'm gonna watch, so we'll do that. It sucks that, speaking of sucking, it sucks it's only 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Because I like longer, okay, suck long, okay, I like longer videos, okay? The joke just keeps writing himself, doesn't it? Rest in peace, Norm. But yeah, man, if there's more Norm, like I said, I got one more video somebody requested. I'm going to watch that. This is my first time watching him on stage. Like I said, everything that I've seen of Norm is him on the desk on Saturday Night Live and like a couple of interviews, especially on Conan O'Brien. That's pretty much it. But I don't know, man. Norm is a funny dude, man. He just seems like a dude you can just have some beer with and just talk to. You know what I mean? Even on stage, he doesn't look like he's making a big deal out of this. Like, it's like he would say these things just at a barbecue. You know what I mean? Like just freestyling it. Anyways, if there's more on Norm or any other comedians, especially in the 90s or from other countries, put in the comment section below, man. We'll get to it, man. We're here to learn, explore it, and have a good laugh. You know? Anyways, keep your head up. Love you guys as always. Till next time. Peace.
As always, I was waiting for the joke to start, and it finished before it started.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I'm Veronica.
And I'm Valdemar.
And today we're watching Norm Macdonald yet again. I'm gonna ignore you. And today we're watching Norm Macdonald yet again. And this is a kind of a follow-up a little bit to the video that we watched last time, which was Norm Macdonald is married to a real battle axe. Because in that video we had an important question for you, and that was who's that other guy who's sitting in the chair by Norm Macdonald and not saying anything. And we found out he's Andy.
I knew he was Andy. I knew his name.
And what is his surname? We did not find it. Well, we found that out, but we do not remember. But we found out that he is, in fact, part of the show, and that he's sitting there.
I knew that before. I told you that he is a part of the show.
But you were asking them if that's how it is. And you were like, what's about this? What's this deal about him?
Yes, but I knew that he is a part of the show.
Yeah, you knew.
You found out this.
Yeah, I found this out. And your knowledge was confirmed then. But anyway, a lot of you said that Norm likes poking jokes at him. And that we should... Yeah, I did that. I know. And that we should check out one of the jokes that he made, and specifically this one.
Yeah, you recommended this video. It's called Norm Macdonald Swedish-German joke. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty short one, so... Well, let's see. Let's see.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
For Norm, always.
Always ready. There you go.
He's good, man. He's good.
Ooh, what is this quality?
We did a quick search to see if there is a better quality of the video available, but there's not, so we're just gonna have to focus on listening.
He's good, man. He's good.
That's a can-do, Norm. You came charging out like
Yeah, because Peter, look at this audience, man. They don't care about that. Why? They like jokes. They got flags. They got flags.
Yeah, they got flags, and they're scoring you. You've got 3 9s and an 8 so far.
Wow.
For your
Where
entrance.
are you guys from, man? Oh, sweet. That's Sweden?
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Everything's good about, you know, you're an Irishman. Me mother, she was orange. Me father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish-German.
Swedish-German? Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause
it's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish-German. I'll tell you why it's funny, man, because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, he said, you know Andy Richter?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia and he said, you know Andy Richter?
Oh, yeah, you did that
Oh, it's mean.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, have you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish-German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
Really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish-German. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah, well, now this lines up perfectly. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first...
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No. You're down to 6. You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up. You can get him back. Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fellow says, man, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he talks, you know?
Yeah.
He says, man, there was an old prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood. Sure. Yeah. And I need a woman, you know. And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, you know. He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, you know, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, you know, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar. He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs, and if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, you know, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. You know, this is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this. You know, this got to be all secret. Nobody. I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people will know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Why?
Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
At least you left me my dignity. I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice.
You weren't gay.
Right. Yeah. Well, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
But that's exactly him. Because the joke is well over, but it's not over. He's like, oh, I like this joke. You were raped. You didn't get that? It was the turtle.
As always, I was waiting for the joke to start, and it finished before it started.
That was really, really good. Oh my god, thank you for recommending that. I was really... This is so nonsensical. What the hell? Like, why?
I don't understand. Like, did he came up with this joke just sitting there when he heard that he is a Swedish German, or he planned?
He has like a stock of jokes, and then he put him into that one because like he wanted to tell it earlier, but he was like, I can actually just say it was Andy who was violated sexually. I don't know. Oh my god. But I love how Conan just stood up and he was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm leaving.
The funniest part of this joke was how he was keep repeating Andy.
The Swedish German.
Andy Richter, I forgot.
Andy Richter, the Swedish German, yeah.
We watched with Veronica. Play It Again Some, the movie of Woody Allen.
Yesterday.
Right? And the funniest part for Veronica, the best part of the movie for Veronica, was how this guy Dick.
Every time.
How he was repeating his numbers.
It was so hilarious though. If you have a good joke, why not do it 15 times? I say do it 15 times. It's just because it was so funny. Because he was like a financial broker, right? And he had to call wherever he was so that people would get back to him. And then he would say, I'll be here at this number for 10 minutes. And then I will be going at this number for 10 minutes. And then I'll be somewhere. And then at more and more ridiculous locations, he would call that he's there. Very funny. Top-notch comedy. Really funny. Oh, it was funnier than the bit with the hairdryer.
Definitely.
So yes.
All right, but it was the only video that people recommended for us about the director?
No, there's stuff to come in the future still. We can all be excited. I think there's so many jokes of Norm that we still haven't watched. I'm so happy. It's so nice. It's so funny.
Okay, well, thank you for watching, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. And, as always, leave us some suggestions, either for other clips of Norm or other comedians that we haven't watched yet. That helps us a lot, because otherwise you're the only people we trust to recommend as good comedians. Because if we haven't seen them, either of us, then we don't know if they are good or not. So counting on you there, and of course you could also give us a like and subscribe. And why am I the only one always nagging people about this? It helps us a lot if you subscribe and give a like and comment.
Because I'm not a person to nag other people about things, unlike you. Well,
leave a like for me then, and not for Valdemar. You can leave a like and then say in the comments that it was just for me.
But we will all know for whom did you really subscribe.
Oh, for whom? Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
One of my very favorite comedians, his new sketch comedy CD is called Norm Macdonald Ridiculous. Please welcome back to the program, Norm Macdonald. Norm! Oh, for God's sake. You feel the love?
What a crowd, what a crowd.
What? That's love.
Yeah,
pure.
That's right. I wasn't saying it with any irony.
No,
I think it's a good crowd.
Pure Norm Macdonald love. The CD is ridiculous, and this is a long-rumored project.
Yeah, it took me a long time to do it, because it takes me a long time to do anything. I wanted to do a thing, because when I was a kid, I listened to Cheech and Chong all the time. And so I wanted to do an album. It's very explicit. It's not for kids, but it is for the kids. So it's like tobacco guys, you know what I mean? They gotta aim for the kids.
That's exactly right.
I always felt sorry for those guys, because it's like, who the hell are they gonna get a 50-year-old guy to start smoking?
They got me at 15.
Me too, I was 13.
I thought, if a camel can do it, who am I not to do it?
Remember that Joe Camel? I always laugh because they were said, like, subliminally, it looks like a penis. You know what I mean? And when I looked at it, I couldn't even find a camel. It looks, you know what I mean? Subliminally, it was a camel.
So did you think for a long time, why is that penis smoking?
No, because I've seen smoking penises.
And for the kids out there, it is a terrible habit for your penis to pick up. And I would not recommend it in any way.
The audience concurs.
Yes. We've all seen the pictures of the inside of a penis that is smoked.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Well, that's what I love. You know, when we were kids, I loved the National Lampoon radio stuff. Nobody came up with CDs like that anymore. This is like the throwback.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do a stand-up CD because the market is saturated.
You and your market speak.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the crocodile hunter.
Did you?
Because I think
you're gonna make him sad.
Because I think, you know, it was tragic at the time, but I think I don't know, people calling me, man, they're shocked. Oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it, who got killed? The crocodile hunter.
Please don't make me laugh at this.
This is not good. He was 44 years old. I'm like, that's a ripe old age for a crocodile hunter.
That's not.
And you know who had to be pissed about it were the crocodiles, because he got killed by some fruity fish. And so, you know, You know, the crocodiles were like, hey, man, that crocodile hunter got killed. Who did it, Frank? Nah, you don't even want to know, man.
Please don't do this anymore. This
Go,
is
Bill, man, you had a chance once. The guy go, man, I had a chance. I had that mother. He was Tommy with a stick. I could have eaten him and his kid.
I don't feel good about this.
You remember I ever tell you that story, Bill? Yeah, only 1,000 times.
That's for the kids. All right, Norm Macdonald, we're putting you in a new feature. There's a new feature on the program. Just unveiled it yesterday. You ready for it?
Sure.
It's a new thing called The Daily Show Seat of Heat. Roll the thing. You ready for it? You ready? Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and Canadian Foreign Minister Peter MacKay. They met yesterday. Here's some of their repartee.
I slept so well, you know, the air is so great. Terrific air to sleep in.
She loves the cool Atlantic breezes here in Atlantic Canada. She left her window open last night.
All right, here's my question to you, Norm Macdonald. Are they Take your time. Take your time.
Hot.
Mull it over.
It's hot. It's hot in here. Well, I am a Canadian, as you know. But I love America better. But I'm a Canadian, and I know this Peter MacKay character. I've known him for years.
Thought you'd have some insight.
If I was Condoleezza Rice, I wouldn't be too flattered, because that guy will anything. I swear to God.
Norm Macdonald is off the hot seat.
Wait,
You're off.
wait, I want to say one thing.
One more thing.
One thing about, because this was a rumor, and I don't know if it's
There's a rumor they were together.
No, this was a rumor that long went around Canada about Peter MacKay years ago.
Let's hear it.
I don't know if it's true, it might be an urban myth, but they say one time on a dare, he f***ed a crocodile.
All right, that's it. Norm Macdonald, ridiculous. It's in the stores now. Welcome back. My guest tonight, one of our favorites, a very funny comedian. His upcoming show for Comedy Central is called Sports Show with Norm Macdonald. Please welcome back to the program, Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald! Come and sit down. That was the fastest walkout ever. That was speed. That was the fastest walkout I've ever had.
Yeah, well, who wants to see people walking, man? We got to do jokes. We're the greatest crowd, man. They're the greatest crowd I've ever seen.
How do you do that? Because
no, I do have to widen my circle of crowds. But how you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. I miss you. I was telling you this backstage. One of the few comics when I don't hear your comedic voice for all, I miss it. It's so funny and I'm so glad to see you coming back to TV.
Hey, listen, man. I like all your politics.
Thank you, Norm. I appreciate that. Now, you're Canadian. Your government has collapsed. It's completely collapsed.
It has?
It's completely collapsed.
Well, the good thing is it doesn't matter at all. This is why, because you're such a political guy, and I realized when I came here, because I was never political, and it's because you're from America and I'm from Canada, and in America you have a duty to be political. Because you vote for the wrong guy, he blows up the world. Right? Now, in Canada, here's our elections in Canada. Go, hey, listen, how does that guy stand on the bridge building? That's every time. One guy goes, I think we should build the bridge. The other guy says, I don't care for the bridge. So
it's all bridge-based politics.
We don't got they never gave us no red phone. You're president. I thought you were political.
No, I didn't realize you had a red phone.
You don't realize the president has a red phone?
But here's what it's come to be for in America.
And you're the most trusted man in America?
I'm not trusted. It seems like now, no matter who we vote for, no matter which guy we get, we still blow it out of the world. So, at a certain point, maybe we just like blowing stuff up.
Americans? Well, listen, if I was president, man, I'd get on that red phone right away and blow something up.
But what would you blow up first?
What would I blow up?
Yeah.
That stupid high school I went to for...
safety building, of course.
But listen, man, I'll tell you this though. With with the streets of Libya running with blood.
Okay, I'll buy your premise.
Yeah. Listen, the Egyptians are so brave, and the guys in Tripoli trying to take over, and Bahrain. Here's what I'm trying to get at. I'm from Canada. We got a queen. She lives in England, right? We're so we can't get. Seriously, I could get a bunch of buddies of mine. I swear to God, I could get 2 or 3 dozen buddies of mine. We could go over to Buckingham Palace takeover.
I would totally do that with you.
It's an old bag in a castle.
You know what is the most difficult part of that? Finding which room she's in. Do you have any idea? If you go to attack her, there's like 130 rooms. We'd probably lose interest before we got to her.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. But Gaddafi is surrounded by what is he surrounded by?
Bahrain. I'm guessing he's surrounded by like dancing girls. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a nutbag.
No, he likes the ladies. That's what I heard.
Did you know he has a Ukrainian nurse who apparently
follows her everywhere. Yeah, pretends he's a nurse, but I've heard that maybe there's a little hanky-panky going on. Listen, I don't want to badmouth Gaddafi. I want to talk about Watson the computer.
Oh, let's talk about that. I'm happy to talk about that.
You know that character?
I love that guy. He was on Jeopardy. He crushed.
Yeah, he was on Jeopardy, and he crushed. You guys know Watson the computer?
Sure. Terrific.
Yeah. So, I watched it. It was cool. And the funny thing was, they were like, I wonder if, who's going to win? Watson the computer? Or that guy that works down at the hat store? And, first of all, I don't think he should be called Watson, because wasn't Watson the guy that didn't know Sherlock Holmes?
He was the helper. It should be Sherlock.
Yeah, Watson was like, hey, what about this? And then he'd go, elementary, my idiot friend. So he should have been called Sherlock. But anyways,
No, it was a good aside.
So, so Watson naturally he's a computer.
Crushed him.
Yeah. Killed them, And even his stories were better, you know what I mean? You notice that? Like when Alex Trebek would say the story, I go, Watson, I understand you have a story about jail, And then Watson was like, yes, one time Oscar Wilde was in prison, and George Bernard Shaw came to him and said, why, Oscar, what are you doing in there? To which Oscar Wilde quickly retorted, why, George Bernard, what are you doing out there? And the guy next to him was like, God damn, I was going to tell my story about the hat. I gave the guy the wrong hat that time.
When does this show come on? When does the show come on the air? You gotta watch it whenever it's on. Sports show with Norm Macdonald premieres on Comedy Central Tuesday, April 12th at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah!
Yes, you're on leading. Norm Macdonald. Please welcome Norm Macdonald.
It's not even a bald spot.
Oh, my God. Norm Macdonald, nice to see you.
Good to see you, too, man.
Your fans are out in force.
Yeah, they're good people, right?
They're good, fine people. How you doing with the new season? Are they driving you nuts? Or they changed the name?
Yeah, they changed the name from The Norm Show to Norm.
Yeah, that testing and research and everything.
Yeah. It's like For the Love of the Game, you know that movie? They changed that.
What'd they change that
to? For Love of Game or something.
And that was it? And they thought that was going to work?
Yeah, they decided to take, they thought those slowed things down.
Yeah. Well, the remote controls that people have to flip around. You know how it goes. Are you enjoying the high life now, being the big network star and zooming around, getting the free beers at places, that sort of thing?
They give you free beers? No.
Don't they? They don't give you the free beers?
They give you, I actually went to this bar where they give you those. You ever have them shooters?
Sure.
The little, they're almost, they look like little beers.
Yeah, no. They're little tiny drinks like that, and they have sex names, like dirty sex names. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Like
sex on the beach, or, you know,
or
blow thing.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
They give you those free?
Yeah, I don't know. That was an old bit I used to do in my stand-up, and I was going to do it, and then I just abandoned it.
You bailed out? You're like, we don't want to get into the beer thing. We're not going to go that direction. You know, our show's up in Canada now. We're up in your, do you think they could use a little bit of our humor? Yeah, we just got into what is it called? Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, you don't care. You fled that country.
No,
you don't
it
even
seems
care
like
anymore.
if you're already on in the United States, that's the only thing that counts.
No. This has always been to get to Canada for us. Yeah, always. We've never... Everybody's on in America.
Yeah.
But only Wayne and Schuster dominate Canada. We're gonna...
How do you know them?
I had a tape once.
Yeah,
That was really it. No, I was up late one night. You know, in Canada, they show naked movies for free on TV.
Oh, yeah.
You flip around in it.
Absolutely.
Did you hear a deep voice over there say, yes?
Yeah, yes. Insertion, too?
Is that... You know what? I didn't hear the parenthetical comment, but as hour went, but that's a nice treat.
What? Oh, naked, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? I was in
What's that?
You know where you go into the hotels and you get your SpectraVision with the pornos on it?
Yeah.
The pornos in the SpectraVision are not hard, they're pornos, but they cut out, like insertion shots. They cut out, you know what I mean? They cut out vaginas and penises.
That sort of thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So they don't show that part, and I'm wondering, like, who is offended by that? Like, you know what I mean? Is somebody whacking after a porno phone down? What the hell's going on here? This is unbelievable. It's offensive here. I'm trying to whack off, and there's a insertion here, you know? Right? That's right.
I don't know whatever you're talking about. The only thing I've noticed about those movies, quite honestly, billing is immediate.
That's right.
Because you try, and if you're like me, you're a film connoisseur, you like to check out the different plots. And but if you just watch a couple of minutes, just enough to see that it's going to be nurses, or whatever it is, it shows up on your bill that you watched like 15 of them. If you, I mean, from what...
I gotcha.
Yeah.
One time, I was watching one of those. I was whacking.
Yeah.
So I'm whacking off watching it, and all of a sudden, Bruce Baum is on it. You know that comedian? He's a comedian that's like a friend of mine, right? And so he shows up, like, because he's the comic part of it, like they're showing some sex. All of a sudden, he comes in, and right at the time when I was, you know, finishing off.
Yeah.
So now I don't want to call up Bruce Baum anymore.
When this airs, we're going to make sure we get a picture of Bruce Baum, the Flash.
He's a great man. He's a funny man.
He's a great man, but you need to see the visual to understand Norm's pain. Thank you very much for coming by. As always, the funniest man I know.
Yeah, this is
Norm
the greatest.
Macdonald. Norm airs on Wednesday nights on ABC. Norm Macdonald.
Welcome back to the program. My guest tonight, a very funny comedian and actor, is on Saturday Night Live for many years. His new show is Fox's A Minute with Stan Hooper. Please welcome Norm Macdonald.
Hello! Hey, Johnny. That clip didn't seem that entertaining.
That's not the whole show, is it?
That's the best part.
You picked that out especially for
I
us?
miss you, Johnny.
I miss you. TV is
Congratulations.
better in my mind. Stop it.
On
TV
your
is better.
Academy Award.
Don't even talk about it. Just wait.
Ah, you won an Emmy.
Wait till the voices come out. We're going to be top notch. By the way, you are the first guest to sit in our new couch. Talk to me about...
This is some couch, I'll tell you that, man.
What do you think?
I'd it. That's the highest compliment you can pay a couch.
It is a high compliment. It's just that we have a minivan of nuns. That is... Have you ever felt a couch that you felt that way before this couch?
No, this is the first one, man. I'm a normal fella, you know.
Do you think it's the ultra suede?
It may be the, it has a alluring come-hither look.
It has a bit of a nice slant to it, I believe.
It's a goddamn whore, let's be honest. No, it's a nice couch, it's a nice couch. I don't mean to disparage the couch.
TV is better when Norm Macdonald is on it. That is my postulation, that is my theory, that is my... This whole interview will be applause breaks back and forth. And you know what?
What's that?
America is a great country.
America is the best country in the world.
Norm Macdonald got more applause than America.
I know you say that with irony, but I'm from Canada.
Where?
Canada.
Show me where that is. I've heard tale of it. But you've been living here for years.
Yeah, and America is the greatest country in the world, and Canada, 35.
You can't say that. You have to go. You have family there. They'll see you at
my family's
at
fine.
Boxing Day or whatever do they have holidays?
They do have Boxing Day. How do you know about that? Now you should explain it. They're going to think that has something to do with the pugilism, but it is actually not.
Boxing Day is nothing to do with pugilism. It's a day in Canada where all the small children.
What's pugilism mean?
That'd be the art
boxing,
of the sweet science,
sorry, you're right,
as it were.
Sweet science. Yeah.
Boxing Day in Canada is all the children are put in boxes and set out on Lake Huron.
Yes, that's right.
And whoever doesn't sink
is not a witch.
Is not a witch, and is the next prime minister. I think.
I think that's right.
I think that is correct.
Yeah.
But now you live in Los Angeles, the lap of.
Yes, I do. The lap of fire.
Oh yeah, Are you anywhere near? Is that anywhere near?
No, that's the one bright spot in the whole thing is that I'm in no danger at all.
You know, they haven't covered that on the news as much as not a lot of Norm Macdonald updates.
I saw this was an interesting thing I saw. You know they have that little scroll that goes under CNN? I'm watching it the other day. Baghdad's getting bombed, right?
Right.
And underneath on the scroll it says, Daniel Kellison to leave the Jimmy Kimmel show. Isn't that backwards?
You think they should have been covering that in the regular news, and the little crawl should have been Baghdad is bombed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because since that crawl, remember, just started September 11th. We never had that.
They didn't have the crawl before that, no.
And now the crawl is because at that time there was so much information. You know, you'd be watching the thing, and then all of a sudden it'd say, "Watch out, duck!" and you go, "Ah!"
It was immediate.
Right, it was immediate.
Yeah.
Because there was so much information flowing, and now they just kept the crawl, and there's nothing to put on there. So you'll see things like, singer James Taylor set to wed, and you're like,
The favorite one that I've seen so far is it said it was another of those situations. They were announcing that Uday and Kusei had been killed in that giant raid, and underneath it said, Beyonce says she doesn't like the word bootylicious. And it was just such a great, but it's that same damn thing. I want you to put a ticker on your show. Will you put a ticker on the Stan Hooper show?
And I've never been on that scroll, and yet for years I've said I don't like that word bootylicious. But that doesn't make the news.
But CNN is not covering Norm Macdonald to the extent people want.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. How you liking doing the program? Is it enjoyable for you? Is it fun to work? Do you prefer to gamble?
Why do you have to bring that up?
Are you having fun doing it?
No, I love working. You know, I retired from show business. You know, and nobody noticed.
So I noticed.
So I realized that I had to get back into it so that I could become a big star, then retire from show business.
Thank you.
And then it would be a big star.
That's how Celine Dion does it.
That's right.
Then you go to Vegas and you open up your own Norm Macdonald Theater.
That's right, and you marry an old dude that blows all your money. That's my dream.
A fine dream it is, sir.
Certainly.
A Minute with Stan Hooper airs Wednesday nights at 8:30 on Fox. It's Norm Macdonald back on TV where he belongs!
On Larry King Now, the hilarious Norm Macdonald.
So I said, I'll trick them and write a novel and call it a memoir.
So do I believe it or not believe it?
It's not facts, but it's truth, if that makes any sense.
No.
Maybe he doesn't want to be president of the United States as much as he wants to be the president of whatever room he's playing that night, which I can understand as a stand-up comedian, which maybe you can understand, because you go and you speak, and it's aphrodisiacal.
What brought you down, gambling?
Well, some have said it's been the ruin of me, Larry.
The ruin?
But I don't. But I did go broke twice, and I must say that it was a very cleansing feeling in a way.
Plus, what do you sing in the shower?
Willie the Wandering Gypsy and Me by Waylon Jennings.
You're a little weird, you know. What characteristic?
Liking country music doesn't
No,
make
that's
you
not
weird.
characteristic.
You have put me in a shower singing. You're the guy that did it.
All next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. He's one of the best. Norm Macdonald, comedian, writer, producer, named by Comedy Central as one of the 100 greatest stand-ups of all time, and many others would say he is the greatest. Norm's new memoir is Norm Macdonald, based on a true story. It has been met with critical acclaim as a New York Times bestseller, maybe a Pulitzer winner, and most importantly, he's a longtime favorite of this show. Norm Macdonald. Sonny Bunch, who I don't know, writing in the Wall Street Journal about this book, said, based on a true story isn't really a memoir, as the cover claims. It's closer to a novel, a Russian tragic comedy, perhaps Dostoevsky by the way of 30 Rockefeller Center. What did Sonny Bunch mean by that?
I don't know. I think your reading bleeds into your writing. Just as anything in your life that you consume bleeds into what you produce. So, you know, perhaps there were broadcasters that you watched when you were young.
Yes.
And maybe they're now part of you. I'm a great reader of Russian literature and have been since a child.
Why were you so enamored of Russian literature?
Well, because it's bleak, you know? And because I grew up in a sort of bleak area, a rural area of Canada.
You grew up poor like I did?
Dirt poor, yeah.
Dirt poor.
But now I'm happy that I did. You know what I mean? Because I can enjoy that I'm not anymore.
Is this your first book?
Yes, sir.
What led to writing it?
Well, I always wanted to write a novel, you know, but I knew that I never could because it would just be a novel by a celebrity. So then someone approached me to write a celebrity memoir. So I said, oh, I'll trick them and write a novel and call it a memoir. Like it's called a memoir on the book, but that's like saying
a novel?
Confessions of a killer, but it's not really Confessions.
Is this a novel?
This is a novel, yeah. It's not a memoir.
So do I believe it or not believe it?
Well, it's not facts, but it's truth, if that makes any sense. No. Okay. So you could either look at your life as a series of facts, or you could look at it more overarchingly as a truth, which is very easy for me because I'm a person of faith. I know that you are not. So maybe with you it would be more difficult to find a larger truth that belies all the...
But I will still enjoy it.
I think you will.
Without getting the larger truth.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's written to be read, and it's very, very funny, you know.
Well, you're very funny.
Oh, thank you. But I read it. I always think the best writing is when a person is speaking to you and that they understand everything you say. I'm not a fan of big words.
Did you dictate it or write it?
No, I did not dictate it. I mean, I read it out loud, though, often to myself after, because I think it only works if it's read aloud. I read aloud personally. I can't read faster than I can read aloud.
Louis C.K., who writes the foreword to this book, says, "The thing that drives me nuts about Norm is the powerful simplicity of his style. Norm has a beguiling humility that sneaks up and grabs you by the throat."
That's nice too.
Yeah, you've always had that.
Well, I've never been like a powerhouse stand-up that stalks the stage and preaches or anything like that, because I don't feel I have anything to say. I feel that I guess my overall feeling is life is sort of absurd. It's absurd where I am. Don't you ever wake up, Larry, and feel it's absurd where you are in life?
The whole thing is weird.
The whole thing, yeah.
What kind of stand-up did you do?
I still do stand-up.
I know, but I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Well, I started to do stand-up. You know who's changed me in stand-up was Sam Kinison, because I was doing stand-up when I began strictly to get on television. So I go, what can I do about a cat or a dog? And then I met Sam Kinison, and he told me, you can talk about anything you want. You don't have to talk about losing your luggage at the airport. You can if you want, if it interests you. So I will talk in my stand-up my entire stand-up set will just be about one thing. So I did a special, and it was all about death, my fear of death.
I have that too.
Which you have, I know. Yes.
But you have belief.
Yes,
So
but
you
it
think
doesn't. But it's a shaky faith. You know what I mean? There's nothing in my Christianity that says I'm better than anyone else. It says the exact opposite. That I'm just like my friend Billy Joe Shaver, an old country singer. He says I'm just a whole chunk of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday. And that's why I love that line.
Yeah. Well, I have a fear of not existing.
Yes. But you know, the writer Nabokov said that he saw a picture one time, and it was a picture of before he was born. And it was a picture of his mother with his brother and sister that were older than him, but he had not been born yet. And he said when he saw that picture, there was no terror in him, even though he was looking at a picture where he didn't exist.
But he didn't know anything, so.
Right, he didn't, but looking at that picture didn't terrify him that he didn't exist. So he said, it won't terrify me
Because I won't know.
Yeah, because
But
you
the
won't
knowing
die.
that, but the knowing that I won't know.
No, that's
what
right.
drives me.
Yeah,
Of course, I know I won't know. So
yeah, no. If you were if you were a dog or a cat,
here we go.
They got it all figured out.
Well, Martin Short said, when you slept last night, you could have been dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't wake up this morning, how would you know?
Well, that's true, sir. And you know, nowadays I've been looking into this, maybe to allay your fears. Nowadays, my doctor tells me, they can put you to sleep, and you go to sleep, and 2 weeks later, you don't wake up. But you don't wake up at all. But 2 weeks later, your heart stops. But you can go to sleep for 2 weeks and not have to endure howling anguish and pain or anything like that.
No cancer, nothing.
It's all gone.
Our guest is the one and only Norm Macdonald. Truly, there's nothing like him. We're talking
This has
money
been hysterical so far.
and the dangers of being called the best. We hope we haven't depressed you. When we come back, we'll talk about major mental illness. Stay with us. We're back with Norm Macdonald. A runaway bestseller will be Norm Macdonald, based on a true story, a memoir. You had a very poor childhood. Do you bring that to your comedy? Do you bring that to based on a true story?
Yeah, in my book I talk about it because I was nothing. When you're really poor, you don't expect anything of yourself, and you're happy with any measure of success. And it's only as you get more successful that you start to envy, and you know what I mean. And especially in this town, I always think, because you look at people that have more money and success than you do, that maybe aren't as talented as you are, Larry. But you're comparing. You shouldn't be comparing. You should just be. You should just go, well, if I was 20 years old, would I take where I am now? And then of course you would. I mean, I feel I would at least. So,
Don't you feel successful?
Yes, because I'm not a furnace of ambition or anything where I've met people like when I was at Saturday Night Live, I was just happy to be at Saturday Night Live. When I did my first Letterman, I was happy to do my first Letterman. I never had my one foot in and 1 foot out. I was never thinking of the next step, I never had a grand career arc, yeah.
What brought you down, gambling?
Well, some have said it's been the ruin of me, Larry.
The ruin?
But I don't.
What did you gamble on?
I gambled on sports. And I will tell you this, you should never bet football because the ball ain't round. I keep telling people this. And so the ball hits and then it does all kinds of crazy things and you don't know. You want to bet on a game with a round ball. Anyways, I quit. I don't know why I'm even saying this. But I did go broke twice. And I must say that it was a very cleansing feeling in a way.
Cleansing?
Yeah.
Well, when you went broke, you had to make money again, right?
Yeah.
Because you had to go broke twice.
Yeah, that's
Why did
true.
you go back to gambling after you made money, knowing that you went broke?
Well, it's
That's
like
insanity.
On a grander scale, though. How does Donald Trump lose $900 million? It's because he has the guts to make the gamble. You know what I mean? Now, most people, I think, if they got to $3 billion or $4 billion or whatever Mr. Trump is worth, would just sit on it. But he's willing to throw the dice. You know what I mean?
And then also take it off his income tax and not pay income tax when he makes money.
Yeah, but that's illegal. Well, Mr. Trump is a friend of yours.
Yes.
I think you would. I know him casually. I've never seen from the man in my meetings with him. Any trace of racism, any trace of malice.
So what do you make of his campaign, which has traces of racism and traces of malice?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's obviously playing some sort of character.
He's got a part here. The part is he's running for president.
Yes, exactly. And so I don't know whether to be afraid or not. You know what I mean? There have been in this country times when people like Huey Long or somebody like that came along that raised a little terror in people. But I think personally our democracy is bulletproof to any sort of any chance at fascism, and I don't think Donald Trump even is going that way. But if people are afraid of that, I think our democracy denies that.
Do you think he's demagogic? That's not a word, is it?
Demagogic? Yeah, that's a word. Well, I guess by dictionary definition he is, because he's, I think maybe the ruin of Donald Trump will be this addiction to playing the halls. You know what I mean? That maybe he doesn't want to be president of the United States as much as he wants to be the president of whatever room he's playing that night, which I can understand as a stand-up comedian, which maybe you can understand because you go and you speak.
Yeah.
And it's aphrodisiacal, to get in front of these people and have...
It's the biggest high of all.
It's amazing.
And they laugh. That's... Right?
Absolutely.
There's no bigger joy. So when he gets the applause, that's enough.
I think that's what he loves. I don't know if he wants to be president. What I don't think he'll win. I think he will start a giant television network.
Yeah, him and Roger Ailes.
And Larry King, maybe.
The Trump Network.
The Trump Network.
And how about Norm Macdonald with comedy specials weekly?
I would be your apprentice on the Trump Network.
What's the biggest risk Norm has taken? We'll find out. And about the future of the last comic standing.
Oh, yeah.
The book is based on a true story. It's Norm Macdonald, a memoir. We'll be right back. We're back with Norm Macdonald. You're going to love this book. I can't wait to get it. Just breezing through it. It's based on a true story. It's a memoir. So it's a novel, but it's not a novel. It's an American Dostoevsky.
That's high praise, but that's what people have said.
You recently said of Trump, by the way, you've got to be able to apologize and you've got to be able to say you're wrong. You have to have some humility. Why doesn't he seem to have that?
I don't know.
I know him and I don't know.
I mean, maybe...
Did you try to take a picture with him and he snubbed you?
Well, it was a kind of a funny thing. I was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and I was watching it. He was the first guest, and people, were the next day saying that Jimmy was too easy. As if Jimmy's Douglas Edwards or something. He's just a guy, just a kid that loves everybody. So he's not gonna, he may have lost his chance to, moderate Meet the Press, but I don't think that was ever his goal. But so Donald came. I was only a couple minutes between when one guest leaves and the other comes in. So I was in the hall with him. He was with the Secret Service. And he knows me, So I said, Donald, a picture. And he goes, I love this guy, and he's talking to the Secret Service guys. He goes, I love this guy. I'll take a picture, just 1 minute. And he turned around, and then he walked to the elevator and got on it. So, I did make a few comments about him, and I haven't spoken to him since then. And I always wonder, oh, gosh, I hope he didn't read those comments and like his humility, because I do think that humility is a huge... important thing for a person to have, maybe one of the most important.
Well, everybody will be humble sometime.
One day, absolutely.
You're not a big fan of Hillary's, are you?
Right. No, I don't like
Why don't you like Hillary?
I don't like her in any way. Well, because I think she's the most corrupt person that we've ever had in the White House. I mean, there's so many terrible things that she's done that we forget. But there was one that, I don't know why this was swept under the rug, but, she went into the IRS and looked at political enemies' tax returns.
Nixon did that.
Yeah, well, absolutely Nixon did that. Yeah, she's a Nixonian figure.
You know that Hillary did that?
Well, as much as I know anything. I mean, this was reported, and it was a thing for a very short time because the news cycles go so quickly. And maybe nowadays, Nixon, Watergate would have just been a Friday night story that would have disappeared on Monday.
You were a big hit as a judge on Last Comic Standing. What was that like for you to judge other comics?
It was not a lot of fun, It
was not?
No, because you're not supposed to judge people, But that was my task, so I took it seriously, and I tried to help the comedians. What I tried to do is help them. Tell them, just because I've been a comedian for 30 years, not because I'm better than them, but I am better than them, but just because of the thousands of hours I've done stand-up. So what I try to do is just offer them advice, try to help their jokes, try to tell them to quit and not do comedy ever again, because I think that's sometimes good advice. Yeah. I don't think follow your dreams is always the best thing.
So your dreams may be nightmares.
Thank God for unanswered dreams, Larry.
As a comedian, how do you work past the idea that when you're on tour and you're telling the same jokes night after night, do you still get the same kick out of it?
Yeah. Well, I don't tell the same jokes night after night.
Changed.
Oh, yeah. I haven't done very many. I've only done one stand-up special. Now, other guys have done 50. But I was influenced in this by Jay Leno, who, when I started, was the top
great
comedian.
stand-up.
Like Elvis, So
yeah, Jay Leno.
He never did a stand-up special. There is no HBO special of Jay Leno, which is surprising. But he explained to me why, because he has his jokes, and he had amortized it out, that his jokes were worth so much, a piece over a year, 50,000 to 100,000.
But
and he wasn't going to do a special.
When you see him in person, though, he's a great monologist. On television, it can find him. He stalks the stage, runs his hands through his hair, and he's funny.
Very funny. And I've seen at the Improv, Jerry Seinfeld will come in, get huge applause. They always get 5 minutes applause before they speak. And then he does his stand-up, and he does okay. You know what I mean? But he just stands there. But then, like you say, Leno will come in, and he's like Bruce Springsteen. You know what I mean? He gives it all. And
rapid fire, too.
Yeah, so funny and so giving to the audience. And you talk about humility. There's a guy with grand humility for having possessed such a high job.
We're going to play a little game of If You Only Knew, Norm.
If you only knew.
Don't panic.
Okay.
Childhood celebrity crush.
You mean a girl? No, is that what it means?
Yeah.
Oh, it was...
Yeah, was there like an actress you...
Oh, of course, yes, Anne Margaret.
Still
not
around. Bad.
Yeah. You like Anne Margaret?
Who doesn't?
I like the old-timey, I like the old-timey curves on a lady.
And the way she danced.
Oh.
Biggest risk you've ever taken?
I think it was with gambling. I bet everything I had once.
What was the most you ever bet on an event?
$400,000.
Who was it on?
Atlanta Falcons against the Denver Broncos, 1990.
Who was favored?
The Broncos were favored by something like 12.5 points.
You took Atlanta.
I took the money line that paid 3 to 1 or something like that, and lost.
Do you get depressed when you lost?
Oh yeah, you fall into depression. That's why I quit gambling. Really, there's too much anxiety and too much depression, and all for nothing at the end.
Something you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at being kind to people, I guess.
What do you sing in the shower?
Willie the Wandering Gypsy and Me by Waylon Jennings.
You're a little weird, What characteristic?
Liking country music doesn't make
that's
you weird.
Characteristic.
You have put me in a shower singing. You're the guy that did it.
Characteristic you value most in others?
Well, generosity and kindness.
And what about what do you admire most in yourself?
The times that I exhibit those qualities that I exhibit too rarely, generosity and kindness.
You write in your memoir that your dad told great jokes.
Yes.
You have a favorite quick joke of your dad's?
Oh, yes. He said, the old fella, that's how he would talk. Sometimes he would go, try to think of the guy's name. He'd go, there's a fella named, what was his name? I go, it doesn't matter. So he goes, a fella, Bill, and he couldn't remember. So he went to the doctor to get memory pills, and they worked. And then his friend come over. Elmer, he says, what were those memory pills you got? I want to get them. What are they called? Oh, Elmer says, I can't remember. He says, what's the name of that flower? The other guy goes, I don't know, there's lots of flowers. A tulip? No, Elmer says, that's not it. It's, you put it in a carnation. No, Elmer says, that's not it. Long-stemmed, you know, romantic flower. Oh, a rose. Yes, Elmer says. Rose. What was the name of that medication the doc gave me?
That's a great joke. What makes you angry?
I don't like people that treat people under them badly and kiss up to people that are above them.
Kiss ass.
Kiss ass, yeah.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
I guess Donald Trump.
Just for the money, or?
Yeah, just to know what it is to live in a palace and have you know, thousands of people beat each other up.
And Melania?
And Melania gets thrown in the deal too.
What's something people don't know about you?
I'm a deeply closeted gay guy.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out though.
Wait a minute. What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
Well, that means you're gay.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why would I say that? I'm deeply closeted.
No, but that means you're very, very gay, but you don't want to come out. You're so closeted.
That I refuse to say I'm gay.
Right.
Exactly.
But doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey, easy, buddy.
Oh, this book will reveal much. Norm Macdonald's based on a true story, a memoir. We can't wait to get on this. When we come back...
It's all in the book.
You asked, he's answering. Norm will tackle some of your many social media questions after the break. Back with Norm Macdonald, the book, we'll show it again, based on a true story, a memoir. Louis C.K. wrote the Indian. All right, here's some social media questions for the great Norm Macdonald. Gina loves hugs. That's her mock.
Gina loves hugs.
What's your favorite joke bit? Is there something that makes you laugh all the time?
A joke?
A joke or a skit or a thought, anything that makes you just...
Well, you know who always makes me laugh is the comedy team Bob and Ray.
Me too.
Oh, really?
I used to go watch them work.
You saw them live?
Oh, I sure did. I interviewed Bob. I would go, they would let me in because I always wanted to be in radio. So I was go to these radio, and they'd let me in and watch them do the voices.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the best.
Incredible.
Wally Ballou.
Yes, Lee Ballou, because they cut the first part out. But Ray Goulding, I loved because he had that broadcaster voice, like that Ed McMahon, you know, voice, but they do comedy.
Our organization, Bob and Ray, is the SLTA.
SLTA. What does that stand for?
The slow talkers.
Slow talkers of America.
Of
America.
America. At GPU Meatball wants to know what you'd like to be remembered for.
I think I'd like to be, I think I wrote this book to be remembered by the book. I think I'll probably write 3 more books in my life and probably be most remembered as an author in my second life.
Good Bar CA asks what it's like to be a Christian conservative comedian.
Yes, well, I'm not.
Are you that?
No, sir, I'm not.
Then why did he ask that?
I don't know that. Well, I'll tell you why, because they've sometimes labeled me that. Because, you know, I have opinions that don't fit into either party. So sometimes they'll hear it and they'll call you a conservative because they like to say things like that. But I'm not conservative.
Are you Christian?
And I'm on a journey, a spiritual journey, let's say that. I believe there's a God, but I'm unsure of his nature. So I consult a rabbi often because they're the people that know the Bible the best. And so I've had my time, I've had more time with Judaism than with any other religion. So
that's my religion.
That's your religion of birth, but you don't believe in anything.
I don't believe in anything.
But I will say this about the Jewish people, that I love that they live by their beliefs. Whereas some Christians, it's just do what you want and get forgiven.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of prefer the living day-to-day rituals and beliefs.
What always grabbed me about Christianity was how Mary convinced Joseph. I don't even have to finish the sentence. How did Mary do? Anyway.
Well, that kid must have been pretty special. You know, listen, if 3 people show up to your house, one of them has gold.
And myrrh.
Guy has myrrh. You know, you're like, you don't even know what it is. And so you say, listen, the guy with the frankincense and the myrrh, you could beat it. The guy with the gold.
Come on in.
Come on in, we can talk.
Oblivious1 tweets, I would love hearing anything about Norm's amazing gambling run in Atlantic City.
Oh, yes, that's what happened. A friend of mine is very smart said, I've been very lucky with gambling. I've never won. And it was a very profound thing, you know what I mean? Because if you never win, you don't get hooked. But I had a big win. So I was a casual gambler, you know, would go and bet $25 on blackjack. I hit a craps table. I went on a gigantic run. Won, you know, 6 figures, and ever since then, you can't go back. You know what I mean? If you win that much money, you can't go back to $25 bets.
Over 100,000.
Yeah. Just over.
Did you get a little nervous walking out with the cash?
I was afraid. I didn't know you were allowed to win that much. So at the craps table, I kept putting the chips in my pocket, you know, because this guy was rolling for, I don't know the game. And I put money down, and then I only had $100. I just put it down, and then I won. And the guy said, you want to press it? And then I didn't want to look stupid. I go, what do you think? So the guy pressed it. He pressed every bet. And anyways, all of a sudden, they were just handing me huge amounts of money. Yeah, I got scared. I started pocketing it. And then I remember at the end, I go, man, I must have won $15,000. And the guy goes, you won a hell of a lot more than that, fella. And I went, and it was Atlantic City. They don't escort you to your car or anything
Vegas
like that.
They do.
Yeah, you just drive into hell. When you get out of that casino, just every sign says, we'll buy your gold from your teeth. You know, it was horrible.
And Dr. L. Cartman wants to know how you feel about the name Norm. Would you change it?
Yes.
Why? You don't like Norm?
Don't like it. I have a sort of a theory that your name maybe contributes to your self-worth or your self-esteem, because it's the way you see it in popular culture. You know, now Norm. When I was young, there was very young. There was a guy on Peyton Place that Chris Connolly played, Norman. You know, and he was kind of like a deeply closeted man. And then there was Norman Bates, Norm from Cheers. They were all fools or deeply closeted homosexuals. Norman, where are you? Starring
That was
Red
a funny
Fox.
play.
Yeah. So
Norman, is that you?
Norman, is that you?
That was a funny play.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's the punchline of that
Yes,
play.
and he's gay.
Yeah.
So anyways, you know, you see enough of these deeply closeted gay guys named Norm, all of a sudden you go, wait a second, am I deeply closeted?
In fact, you admitted earlier in this interview that you are.
I admitted that I was deeply closeted, but I will never admit I'm gay.
So you're deeply closeted about what?
Being gay.
Thanks very much, Norm.
Yes, sir.
So much insight.
It's all
You'll
in the
get
book.
more when you read the book. Thanks to my guest, Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald, based on a true story, is available now. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. And I'll see you next time.
Always a pleasure to be on your show.
Always great to have you.
The master.